Real football might be over, but the offseason, much like the city of New York, never sleeps. We got coaching changes, free agency, the combine, the draft, and tons more action to cover to get ready for the next NFL season. Who's going to be the next rising star? What new coach is going to have the greatest impact? What free agent is going to take your team from pretender to contender? Let us be the voice of the NFL news. As Coach Mike Dubb, the real AG Alex Givens, young RG Robert Garcia, and yours truly, Coach Defense, break down everything from the NFL offseason right here on the NFL Offseason Blitz. Let's go. Man, oh man, it is breaking news hot off the press. Let's get some tunes going here. Let's get him going. Let's talk about it. Let us talk about it. Yeah, man. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. For those who tuned in early, breaking news. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're all talking about the Maxx Crosby deal's probably been the blockbuster of the offseason. It is off the table. If you haven't been watching social media, it is off the table. Apparently, some red flags came up in Maxx Crosby's physical. He did not pass it, and now the deal's off. So, and this is what happens when you have deals in place before the league actually starts, because they can just rescind that like it's nothing. Ink's not dry, none's done, and Maxx Crosby has to go back to the Raiders. So we're going to talk about all that and more as people flow into the chat. I'm going to let you vibe off for a second. We're going to get things going. We're going to talk Maxx Crosby. We're going to talk free agency pool, winners and losers. We're going to get into all of the offseason news here on Offseason Blitz with the hit squad himself. So get ready. Let's roll. We are live and direct. The offseason blitz is here. My guys, 3/4 of the hit squad is in the building. As always, ceremoniously, we're going to get into it. So as always, man, you're here listening to, watching, and viewing the Lockdown Defense Sports Network. And I got my guy here with me, Mr. Over Under, King Parlay, the young Padawan himself, and card-carrying member of the Boat Gang or Don't Bang fan club, young RG, Robert Garcia is in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And to follow him up with my other guy. Some people claim that they are all good, but none of them are real. The co-host of the Lightning Fast Fantasy Football Podcast, the Trenches Guru, Mr. I'm in 10 fantasy leagues and I'm still winning. President of the You Can Hate Me Because You Ain't Me Chiefs fan club. Give it up for the real AG, Alex Givens. What's popping? What's good? What's good in the hood, man? This is the Lockdown Defense Sports Network. This is the offseason blitz. We're going to talk Maxx Crosby. We're going to talk the free agency pool. We're going to talk who's the winners and losers, who got paid, who overpaid, and all things in between. My guys, young RG, Robert Garcia, good brother. What's going on out there? How you feeling?
Man, Coach, I had to throw on the piss jersey today because I'm pissed. It's been as rough of a free agency start to the offseason as it possibly could have been for the Chargers and Chargers fans.
Man, you ain't never lied there, man. You know, I'm just trying to manage my crash out. That's all I can really say to you. I'm just trying to manage it, man, because it's not looking pretty, man. I'm really disappointed in what the front office is doing. But we won't get into that. We're gonna talk about that and a bunch of other things as well. But yeah, I'm right there with you. the lack of activity they've exuded over the last couple of days is definitely disheartening for sure. But my guy, Real AG, let's give us a good brother. How you feeling today? What's going on there in Chiefs Kingdom?
Man, hey, I'm feeling a lot better than you two. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I
wonder why.
Yeah, Chiefs a little more active, but to quote the great Pepper Brooks from Dodgeball, I'm shocked right now at what happened about an hour ago.
Yeah. Yes, breaking news. So Maxx Crosby, as we talked about it in the intro, is no longer a Raven. He has to go back to the
for 4 days.
Yeah. I mean, technically, I guess he never was a Raider because, he never was a Raven, I should say, because he was not necessarily, the ink wasn't dry because the league offices or the league year doesn't start till tomorrow at 4:00. So that deal wasn't official until then. But they got to rescind it. Ravens get their first round picks back. And I'm not sure what the Raiders will do. I'm sure they weren't expecting this, or maybe they were. I mean, we could talk about it. Let's go around the room and give our first reactions to it. How we feel about it. What do you think the outcome is going to be, in the next few days, and see what the Raiders do in the pivot. Let's start with young RG. How you feel about this situation? And do you think the Raiders are being shady? They knew that he wasn't going to pass the physical. They knew his knee was bad. They were trying to pass him off before they found out what's going on.
Wouldn't put it past the Raiders to do some little sneaky stuff like this to try to move off from an aging.
Too much credit though.
I mean, I don't know. They got Tom there. Tom has been known to dabble in some.
That's true.
Good point.
Good point.
So I'm not going to say anything. We'll dub it extracurricular activities, if you may. So
I like it.
So Tom has a specialty in that. But regardless, I think this is an absolute W for the Ravens that this trade fell through, and ultimately they rescinded the offer per se. I just thought, even without the injury concerns, I thought giving up 2 first-round picks for a soon-to-be 30-year-old player was a little bit too rich for my blood, especially with the pieces that you lost as a team this free agent period. I thought for sure that money and that draft capital in particular would be better spent elsewhere, like replacing Tyler Linderbaum, like replacing Isaiah Likely. So I just thought they were not a Maxx Crosby away from Super Bowl contention, if that makes any sense. To your point, Coach, we talked about it a little bit before the show started. You have a brand new head coach there, first time ever head coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
And your first move was going to be to trade his next 2 years first round picks worth away. That's not when the team has many holes to fill, pause if needed.
Yeah.
I think this was definitely, call it whatever you want, a saving grace, a gift from the heavens, maybe just the football gods writing things in the world. I think this was an absolute W for the Ravens, and Ravens fans, maybe they don't know it yet, maybe they don't feel it yet, but Ravens fans, I truly think after the draft in particular, you're going to look back on this and say, wow, thank God that trade fell through. I'm very happy to have my pick still.
I like it. Good stuff. All right, Real AG, what's your thoughts on this topic? What do you think is going to happen with Maxx Crosby going forward?
Man, kind of like I said, backstage, I agree to some degree. Right there, little rhyme for you, but
a little bit.
I think it is, a godsend, or just kind of a lifeline, if you will, for the Ravens for getting out of character, trading first-round picks when they don't normally do that for someone like Maxx Crosby. And then ultimately, God pulled some strings and was like, you're not going to do that. You're going to be the same Ravens we know. Here's your picks back. But from a perspective of just the situation, like, I don't know how the Raiders keep him. I don't know how they spent $187 million yesterday in free agency.
Yeah, they did.
Just added $30 million off of their space, or deducted $30 million from their space with him being back on the team. So I mean, maybe it works out that he could stay there, but it's like the damage is done. Like, I mean, he went all off season with cryptic messages of like, I'm not going to be here anymore. The fan base already wrote him off. They're like
13-minute goodbye video.
Yeah, like it's
Right.
it's done. So
Yeah.
like from this point, I don't see how the Raiders could keep him in there and not feel some kind of concern about their locker room. And then how, Maxx Crosby, the player, how is he going to feel good of like, oh, if I come back, like they're just going to send me off if I come back and look remotely healthy. So like, how does he have any good grace that, he's going to stay there and get paid again? And, for other teams that may be willing to take the risk, like they're not going to pay 2 first-round picks now. Like everyone knows that knee is shredded cheese right now. So, like
I'm being nice.
I know, right?
That meat is falling off the bone, they're
Right.
So it's quite the conundrum. I mean, I know we've seen situations like this in the past. Like I think I mentioned to you, Coach, Drew Brees failed his physical with Miami, and they didn't want to, take on the risk, and New Orleans did, and it worked out. And reportedly, the Cowboys are already interested in revisiting. I wouldn't put it past Jerry Jones to, be like, hey, I'll give you 3 first-rounders for that guy.
Right.
But it's certainly going to be entertaining to see how this all plays out. I think the damage is done for the Raiders to just be like, hey, it is what it is. Welcome back. And the damage is done for them to get, the value they got initially. So it's just going to be wild to see what happens here in the next week, I would say.
Yeah. Very much so. I definitely agree with all y'all sentiments. Y'all made some great points. Ed, man, what's going on, good sir? I would love to get your full perspective on this. If you want to drop us some information in the chat, let us know how you feel about this breaking news about Maxx Crosby. But for our perspective, for mine specifically, I think that you're right. Raiders will be lucky, very lucky to get 1 or 2 in at this point. You're absolutely right. Now the question is how much damage is that's a good point too. I mean, like I say, 29 years old. I mean, so do we, before I get into my spiel, do we feel like that was an overpay that the Ravens gave in its own right? Is that a consensus?
So.
It was overpay?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because it's like premier edge rushers go for 2 first round. I mean, what we saw Micah go for that.
Yeah, but how much younger is Micah?
I get it.
Micah, 100%. Horrific knee injury with the Packers. He had really no injury concerns to be worried of. He's that young. You have plenty more years of control in him. I just feel like for a guy who's approaching the wrong, or I shouldn't say the wrong side, but approaching 30, I get it. At that position, it's not as much of a taxing, like, you could play a little bit into your 30s at edge rusher and still be very productive. But I just think the value of 2 first round. So you mean to tell me that it was essentially, well, I guess the Cowboys did get back an extra player with him, but I just don't see the world in which Maxx Crosby is worth almost what Green Bay or what the Dallas got for Micah.
Right.
I just don't agree with that.
I mean, I'm not. It's definitely an apples to oranges comparison, but I think the precedent was set for elite pass rusher, and one that you're either going to pay a lot or is already worth a lot is worth 2 first round picks in a trade. So I mean, I didn't.
Right.
When it happened, I was like, oh, like I was just like, oh damn, like I didn't think the Ravens would be in on this type of trade, but I didn't think like they paid a lot. It was just like, oh, like. It's, I would have thought he'd go somewhere where it'd be kind of ensured that the Raiders would be getting top 15 picks in return, in that, like, like I'm thinking like the Ravens is like, well, if it works out, like, those picks are going to be 20s, 25s or lower. But I mean, I didn't think it was an overpay at the time looking at it.
My issue was the second first round pick. I would have been okay with this year's first round pick, especially since it was high. Because it was 14?
Yeah.
I would say give him 14 and maybe a player or a later round pick, but the 2 first, I feel like they're a little bit rich, like you said, to the point where he was coming off an injury and he's approaching 30. So, but yeah,
What Ed's saying here is kind of what I was like, maybe the Raiders weren't really in the wrong for sitting him, or or to the second. Is that fine, or is it an excuse for the Ravens to back out? I'd be curious to know more about how these team doctor physicals go. Like, is it like, do they kind of just whisper in their ear, like, find something?
Right.
So we can say, see, take them back.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, the was it Leo DiCaprio meme? Yep.
There it is.
Really, really, really quick before you go, Coach, I just wanted to throw out there. So we were talking about guys that, players that were traded, we were talking about value of 2 first-round picks. And of the last 10 years, non-quarterbacks to be traded for multiple first-round picks, you have Khalil Mack, back for shocker, the Raiders also traded him. Larry Matunzel, Jalen Ramsey, those were both in 2019. Jamal Adams in 2020, which look how that turned out.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons and Sauce Gardner last year, and Maxx Crosby this year. All those guys I mentioned before Crosby were at least 27 or younger, and they were all 26 or younger besides Khalil Mack in 2018, but he was fresh off a DPOY. So I think, everybody agreed there. Like, that's worth it. So this really would have been unprecedented territory if this trade would have went through, because that's a whole 2 years older.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Like I said, I think the second first was a little bit rich. I would have given him a 14 and maybe been done with it, or a later round pick in either this year or next year. But I wouldn't have gone 2 first, in my opinion. But again, I can't tell how to do business, right? I'm only a system engineer. I'm not an NFL GM, right? So, system engineer and podcaster, NFL analyst. That's all I got on my resume. So, but yeah, I definitely agree with y'all sentiments, man. And I do believe that, it's going to be interesting to see how it falls out. What they're going to do, because I do believe, much like a extremely toxic relationship, once you finally get her out the house, you're not going back. You're done with it. I'm definitely washing my hands of it. I just got to find somewhere else for you to go. Now, is it, to your point, Alex, going to be like a Drew Brees situation where, Drew Brees failed a physical with the Dolphins, but he passed the physical with the Saints. Now, what are the doctors looking for? What are the doctors not? What do they classify as damage? What do they classify as being problematic? Things of that nature. We can harken back to we talked about recently about Caleb Downs and his knee situation. How people are going to view that, especially because he's young. If it's a degenerative type of issue, are you gonna look at him like Charles Gurley, or are they gonna look at him like Will Johnson? Just a matter of how they view it. But yeah, so it'd be interesting, because I believe that they definitely have gotten to the point where they can't move forward with each other, for sure. So it's just a question of what they're going to move him for, and there likely will be less value now they know he's air quote damaged goods. That's the issue. So I mean, I know Dallas was in the mix. A few other teams were in the mix. Chicago was in the mix. Now free agency is kind of shaking out as well. So you have people that don't necessarily have that dire need anymore, per se, if they've gotten a different edge rusher. Like the prime example, like say the Panthers were in the mix until they got Jalen Phillips. Now they're off the table. Maybe they would have paid a premium. Who knows? But yeah, so it'd be interesting to see. And I say one thing: the Ravens could do one funny thing. They could keep their 2 first-round picks and go out and play Trey Hendrickson and pretty much get the same level player and get the same amount of money spent and not miss a beat. And they can still draft in the first round and get another stud.
Picks,
and then get another. Hell, they can even draft because it's so loaded with edge rushers this go around. They can go out and get themselves one. Go out and get you a Akeem Mesidor, Ruben Bain, or somebody like that to fill a void, and have Hendrickson and that rookie playing next to each other.
And you still got Matabuke in the middle. Ooh.
It's prime real estate.
I was gonna say, and it's Jesse Minter, so he's gonna work wonders with that secondary, regardless of who's back there. Hey,
absolutely, man. Yeah. Raiders, Zach, I see you, good brother. Where you been at, man? We ain't seen you in a good while, man. How you feeling? I ain't seen you in a good minute, man.
Hey, I said that too, Zach. They were just salty that you guys took Linderbaum, so they're like, we gotta find something to stick it to them.
Right. And go back to your point real quick, Alex. What are doctors looking for? I mean, you've had MRIs galore on our knees, and it's just pretty much a scan. Like it is what it is. If it's torn, it's torn. It's not. So what are they looking for?
Well, Zach makes an interesting point. Like, they traded for him knowing he got an off-season surgery, so it's like to some degree they knew what they were going to find. And I guess from the way I've seen some people present it, it's like they just, once they saw the totality of it, they're like, that's not a risk we want to take. Take him
Yeah.
back. Who's not to say like a Jerry Jones or someone like that is like, I'll take that risk, but I'll give you 1 first rounder.
All right.
I think, like I mentioned, I think at this point they'd be lucky to get a first rounder. I think you're probably at this point you're probably looking to move him for a second.
Yeah, it's a saying out there that says yesterday's price isn't today's price, but that's in reverse. Yesterday's price was 2 firsts. Today's price is not 2
What's
firsts.
that draft day? It's a different world.
We live in a different world. Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, we'll see. But I would like to believe the Raiders are going to get something. They just won't get the haul they were going to get out of the Maxx deal initially. So we'll see. But yeah, man, Raiders Zach and Ed, please let me know which I think will be Max's future. I'm interested to hear y'all comments as Raiders fans for sure. Definitely that. But but anything to add for this Maxx Crosby conversation before we move on to a free agency?
No, I just curious to see what I do think teams are gonna smell blood in the water and try to lowball the Raiders.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Interesting. It'll be interesting to see if they. So, because I think technically, looking at I think they can't afford to keep him.
I'm sorry, they could, but I feel like at this point you've burned your bridge.
Oh yeah, I think numbers wise they can afford to keep him.
Yeah.
Locker room morality wise,
No
I don't
way.
know. I don't know that they can at this point, but
that's kind of like to counter Raiders Zach's point. There is, Cowboys offered first and second, Bears offered 2 firsts. I don't think the Bears offered 2 firsts. I think the Ravens were the only team to offer 2 firsts, and that's what ultimately got the trade. Right.
I think if the Cowboys offered a first and a third, and the Bears offered a first and a second. But I don't know. I know for sure.
Yeah, no, hold Maxx till the team pays the price, or simple keep him. It's not his choice. Yeah, he's on a 3-year deal, but you've already burned teams know you have to trade him. He doesn't want to play there. You guys clearly don't want him there. You've lost your leverage. Yeah, your leverage is gone now, and the failed physical comes back. So now it's like, do we keep a guy who's quote unquote injury prone for $30 million on the books? And if we do want to move him, truly, teams are going to lowball the hell out of us, knowing we have to move him. It's a different. To kind of quote draft pick, it's a different world now that teams know A, he's failed a physical, and B, you didn't want him. You put that trade through. Once that trade was sent through, all leverage was lost, and this was the only way really it could have went bad for the Raiders. Was the Ravens pulling out of this trade? Because now I don't think anybody's going to let him. I don't think anybody's going to offer a first. I truly don't.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm very curious. Because like I said, if he's healthy, he's whole, you get great production, but it's just a question of how healthy is that knee? Is there any more lingering things that they didn't report? That's another thing. If there's some lingering things, say, hey, with the meniscus we reported, but there's some underlying issues here too. There's some instability with the LCL or an ACL kind of thing. If there's more to it, we might come out in the next couple of days, then we'll get more info, and that'll definitely give us an inkling of what is going to happen with him. But I agree, he's done in Vegas for sure. It's just a matter of where he's going to play next year. Yeah. But I'm on Trey Hendrickson watch right now for the Ravens already. Yeah, already. He's free. All you got to do is pay him. All you do is give him a contract that he wants, and he signs it and deliver. And get to sack Joe Burrow twice a year. I think that's an incentive. I think that's an incentive. Yeah, we'll see though. But let's talk about free agency in its entirety, man. We're gonna get into our bag here and talk about free agency and what's been happening for the past couple of days. Now, mind you, the league year does not open until tomorrow, technically, which again, why we're here with the Maxx Crosby thing, because the deal couldn't technically go through until tomorrow at 4 when the league office opens for the new year in 2026. So with that being said, there have been some in principle deals that happened, quite a few actually. I think the majority of the top 100, 150 have signed to tentative deals that will be official tomorrow. So we're going to get into exactly what's been going on division by division and, kind of give our takes on it, who won, who lost, who overpaid, who underpaid, who got a steal, and give our analysis and assessments on each division from top to bottom. And then at the end of it all, we'll get to who's left and who we might predict if some future for some players are still free agents. But starting off, man, let's talk about the NFC West. The Cardinals and the Rams have been somewhat busy. I think the Cardinals have been way more busy than the Rams. Although the Rams, they are making a lot of moves, but they're making some impactful moves. from their secondary perspective for sure. So, starting
Chiefs
with
hold secondary.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, at least the starters they took.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, benefits the Chiefs because the Chiefs end up getting first rounders, which I give AG a lot of credit. AG called the trade that Trent McDuffie would go for at least one first. In trade
To the Rams.
to the
Yeah,
Rams.
I was gonna say, I think that was the more impressive thing was
Right.
predicting the team.
Exactly. And it'd be a complete entire rewind of the Marcus Peters trade. I mean, how uncanny is that? That is crazy. For to go
in the
to the same
Matrix,
school.
guys.
Hey, we are in the simulation. You're right. I think RG said that. We live in the simulation. That's for sure. 170 million for Chiefs quarterbacks. Yikes. Yeah.
Dude, and Jalen Watson was a 7th round pick.
He was.
So
He
good
was.
for him.
Yeah.
3 years, $51 million out of from a 7th round pick. That is
34 guaranteed. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So, like I said, we'll start with the Rams here. They re-signed Cam Curl. They got Tyler Higbee back. They went out and got Jalen Watson and got Trent McDuffie in a trade and gave him 4 years, $124 million. Man, what is he, like $910K above the highest paid corner now? He's the highest paid corner by $910K.
Yep.
So, so that's interesting conversation. So the weak spot of their team, everybody kind of highlighted last year their secondary, and they went out and made splashes. And they still have a first round pick to spend in the draft there. So I think they're doing pretty well for themselves. The Cardinals had a complete overhaul. They got rid of Kyler Murray. They went out and got Tyler Algier, got Isaac Sumalo. Gardner Minshew's a backup. Look like they're going to roll with why am I spacing on this name right now? Brissett. Jacoby Brissett is their quarterback for the interim, I guess you can say. So how do we view the Cardinals and the Rams for agency spending at this point?
You want to go first, AG?
Yeah, dude, I'll take it. I mean, I think the Rams, like you said, made smart, impactful moves. Obviously understood the weakness of their team last year in their secondary. I mean, I think that was something we always said about the Rams. Like they were a stout defense up front, stout at pressuring QBs, but if there was enough time, they were susceptible down the field. And you saw teams in their own division carve them up in that regard. So for them to identify that, go get one of the best corners in the league while not totally ruining a whole bunch of draft capital and, doubling down with getting his running mate, who they've shown they're a very effective tandem in the right system. I think, those were good moves. And I think with Arizona, they just kind of signified that they're rebuilding. They're just going to let their coach kind of build it from the ground up how he wants to through the draft, and I think be patient with them. I'm curious what their plan is with reworking James Conner and then signing Algier. But I mean, just looking at who they signed, like you could tell they know where they're at, and they know what it's a 5-year plan for them.
You know about Sid's 5-year plan?
Yeah.
It might be a little longer than that. We'll see what happens.
It might. And actually, to make this more interesting too, let's go back and forth. Well, we'll let Archie pick one team because it's gonna be 2 teams per slide. So I'll let Archie talk about one team and let AG talk about one team, and I'll kind of give my overview as we move forward.
Yeah.
So we can get to everybody real quick. I don't want to belabor the point so much, but just give out a quick high level overview of how they did, and who's winners, losers, or who is the glaring overpay, underpay, whatever the case may be. So what is your thoughts on the Cardinals, RG?
Yeah, I think that, like, to Alex's point, I think they just made a lot of smart decisions. I think a lot of these signings you're not investing too much money into really anybody here. And I think the one person you are investing the most money is for probably the best player you sign, which is Isaac Samalu. Yeah. And that's, you can always use more O-line. That's never a bad thing to go after, protecting your quarterback, because at the end of the day, all of these quarterbacks have ridiculous talent to have even made it to this point in their career. And if you're starting multiple games over the course of a season, bless you, Alex. If you're starting multiple games over the course of a season, you are pretty damn good, all things considered. So to get more protection for Jacoby Brissett, who, again, and I called this since the end of last year, I said they should just stick with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. He is the perfect bridge quarterback to get you to this next draft, and potentially even another year after this next season when you finally do draft that quarterback, for somebody to kind of mentor and lead in a way. So I think this is the perfect decision, and made this joke in the group chat earlier. Nobody's more happy that they're keeping Brissett more than Trey McBride. I'm sure he is ecstatic, and all fantasy owners of Trey McBride are equally as ecstatic, and rightfully so. So yeah, I think these were just all great moves in my opinion. I love the addition of Tyler Algier. Him and James Conner is going to be a great 1-2 punch. I honestly, like, all things considered, if it wasn't for the fact that this division is so brutal, I mean, you got two teams that were fighting for a spot in the Super Bowl, and the other team was in the playoffs who lost to the team that won the Super Bowl. So there's just so much other talent. I really do feel bad for Cardinals fans, man. This is brutal.
It's tough.
It really is. And to your point, you were spot on with the Jacoby Brissett take. And what is our slogan?
Often early, but never wrong.
Indeed. So yeah, good call on that particular space too. But yeah, I mean, I would argue that the Rams are looking like, I mean, you know, we're not talking what the draft is going to add to this roster, but I mean, they should be our early favorites to go back and compete for the division and the conference, just off the strength of who they brought back and who they retained. So yeah,
I think they actually are the favorite right now.
I think they're the betting favorite for the Super Bowl period.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Because like with the players the Seahawks lost, I think the Rams definitely moved ahead of them.
Kind of peg. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're absolutely right. So yeah, so this will be interesting. But speaking of that, we talk about the other two teams in the division, the 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. You know, they got a lot of attention on this list. Not a whole lot of signings for the Seahawks you know, let's go around the table again. You know, who wants to go with what and speak on that particular avenue or that side of the fence between the 49ers and the Seahawks.
I'll take the Seahawks on this one.
Okay.
So I think that the Seahawks, this is the after effects of winning the Super Bowl.
Yes.
You're not able to keep
100%.
that entire team that won
100%.
the Super Bowl. A lot of guys want to go get paid, and rightfully so. A lot of guys are, you know, now that they have their ring, they're seeking other, you know, I want career accolades, I want starting, whatever the case may be. So they lost a lot of big pieces in free agency this year. Reek Woolen is gone. He's over with the Eagles now. Boye Mafe is gone. He's over with the Bengals now. Oh my God, Kenneth Walker. Yeah. Yeah. There's a reason why I forgot that. Yeah, that makes sense. I tried to block that out of my memory. Yeah. So Kenneth Walker, of course, Super Bowl MVP. Of course, he's gone as well. I think that. Well, what did we talk about? That's like only the fourth time in history this has happened where Super Bowl MVP is for a different team next year.
Yeah.
But regardless, I did like the moves that they did. I did like the players that they did retain. Specifically Rashid Shaheed. I thought he was an absolute must re-sign just with the draft capital that you gave up for him last season. You almost just couldn't let him walk in free agency, and he was a massive part for this team down the stretch with some very clutch returns. Even one took the opening kickoff against the Niners to the house, really set the tone of that game in that divisional round. So I thought just what he can do on offense as well, being a little bit of a gadget guy. That was a great signing. You re-signed Josh Jobe, who was obviously lesser tier of the corners that you had, but you do still have Witherspoon over there. So, you know, I think you feel a little bit better with Reek Woolen leaving in free agency. But I think the Seahawks they're going to be right back in that mix again next year. Going to have very dominant defense, extremely well coached. Sam Darnold is playing with some brand newfound confidence after winning the Super Bowl. He is officially off pumpkin mode watch. I think he has erased that from his resume forever. And you know what? Good for him, man. I think this team is going to be scary as they were. Maybe not as they were, but very scary next season as well. And they'll be right in the thick of it come this division and come the playoffs.
Agree. All right. What the 49ers look like, AG?
Yeah, man, the 49ers, I'm not really sure what they were trying to accomplish, to be honest. Especially with the did they release Trent Williams, or they're talking about it?
Working a trade out.
Yeah, okay. So, I just like the two moves they made. Like I said, Mike Evans, it was fitting that they signed, I don't want to say has been, but over 30 free agent to be a key contributor to their offense, you know, with the energy substation conundrum.
Like the opposite of Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly. Oh, over 30, like here's 60 mil. Here you go. And it's like, what are they going to do with Ayuk? And,
He's done.
I know, but it's just interesting that like they're gonna move like get someone older who just is coming off of a very banged up year and like act like that's riding the ship, if you will, in that regard. So yeah, I mean the 49ers I think just are doing what they kind of always do, and just sort of stay in pad and stick with their aging core and see what they can get in the draft and hope that is enough.
Yeah. I found it very interesting about Mike Evans going to being one of the more prominently injured wide receivers in the league, going to the most injured team in the league. I found that a very interesting headline that he chose to go to San Fran of all places when he's on the other side of 30, and winding down his career. So yeah, that's an interesting conversation. I mean, if that substation thing has any legs, then
we're gonna find out. We're about to test the theory in real time. But that's not to bag on Mike Evans. Like I hope he goes to San Francisco and catches 100, catches 1,000 yards and shoves it in the Bucs' face. But it's just like, like you said, the most injured team signing, their biggest signing is an often injured or at least recently often injured player. It's not looking good. And I wanted to say for the Seahawks, I was actually very surprised that Shaheed did not go to the Raiders because he seems to just follow Kubiak wherever he goes. So
good point.
I was shocked to see him stay, but you can't give up that capital and not at least try to retain someone.
Yeah, and the money was the same. I mean, you can look at it from a perspective that I have a better chance to win in Seattle right away than I do in the Raiders who were rebuilding. Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense in that space. So I probably would have ended up being, but it'd be interesting to see. Like I said, I think the Seahawks are still going to be good. I mean, they're very well coached. Like you said, the defense is very scheme oriented. So you just plug and play guys into that scheme, and it's just going to take off like it did last year. And then their front seven is still intact for the most part.
Murphy.
Yeah, they only lost Boye Mafia, and they can replace him with
still got Imawari.
Yeah.
Still got Mike McDonald calling plays. So.
Exactly.
49ers, though, lost Sala. So that's,
that's brutal. That's a brutal one.
Brutal. Yeah. Could lose Trent, your star pro Hall of Fame left tackle. That's going to be a loss. Just depending on what they get back for him. But, I mean, you got to immediately replace him in the draft. So it's a lot. I don't know what this dude, Vendarian Lowe, is going to do.
I don't even know who that is.
Exactly.
We'll cross him off.
Who?
I was gonna say with Rashid Shaheed too. He got traded from the Saints, so he got a taste of winning, and he's like, I am not trying to go
back to a Nolans.
I'm not going back to poverty, sir. No, thank you. I like eating filet mignon. That's for sure.
I was gonna say with the Kenneth Walker not leaving, which like we expected, but that just made the GM's Super Bowl parade speech even weirder. Like, you guys see what he's like? He tried to negotiate with me backstage. It was weird. It's like, damn.
Shit.
Awkward.
Yeah, right.
Awkward. Yes, indeed. Okay, good stuff. All right, so let's forward over to the NFC East now. Let's talk about the Commanders and the Cowboys. So a lot here. It's a lot on paper here for the Commanders for sure. I'm gonna let RG go to do Commanders. I know you got something to say about that top line. I want him to do the Commanders. That's just my personal preference. I'm not saying you gotta, but your choice. But
you got it. I got you. Yeah, Commanders fans, $25 million a year for a nothing but a pass rushing specialist. Good luck. Enjoy the sacks. They will be great. I know I did when he was with us. But that is all. Run defense, non-existent. It is purely on third downs, he will be fantastic. But $25 million a year for a guy like that?
You gotta be on the field every down for $25 million.
That's defensive player of the year type money. And this dude hasn't even sniffed I don't think he's been a Pro Bowler.
Oh, and not at all.
No, right? Yeah. No. So I mean, like, this is I never wish bad on a player, so for the sake of him, I hope it works out. Yeah. But I just see no way in hell that this is going to be – you're not going to get that value out of him. And $68 million guaranteed, just under 70% of that contract fully guaranteed. That's
a lot.
That's a lot of cheddar. A lot of cheddar for a guy who's not even playing in Green Bay.
Yeah, if a guy that only comes in second and third and long, then that's a lot. It's a lot to pay.
But to flip it on its head a bit, love the Leo Chanel signing. Not only because you're taking him away from a division rival, but I think it was a legitimately good signing, and AG will tell you he is a very serviceable playmaking-ish type linebacker. You know, just right place, right time. So I think, considering, I think Bobby Wagner is he still on this, or is he's gone now? Technically, yeah. I'm going to say for all intents and purposes, Bobby Wagner's probably gone next season. So this is a pretty nice replacement. Obviously, get much younger, much cheaper. So I like the move from him a lot. Tim Settle was a bit of a kind of underlying signing as well. I think just a great rotational piece in that front four. I think, run stopper, that type of thing. So with the loss of Jonathan Allen, I think, a nice replacement there in the forefront. Amik Robinson was, again, kind of a, 2-year nice little deal there for him as well, with the departure of Marshawn Lattimore, of course. And then as far as the retaining, Laramie Tunsil getting $30 million a year, I thought was absolutely insane. When I saw that it was 2 years, $60 million, I thought it was a typo. I was like, oh, it's 3 years, right? Like, it's got to be. Like, there's no way it's $30 million a year. Nope. No edits to that tweet were made, and I was just kind of left in shock. I was like, wow. All right. I guess it's a great time to be a wide receiver or a left tackle, because they are getting paid the biggest of bucks. So yeah, I just thought, okay, but again, protecting Jaden Daniels, I got no issue with that. I just thought it was a little bit too rich for my blood. A lot of other bunch of 1-year extensions here as well, so not really much to talk about in that regard. But I think all in all, didn't really do this for any of the other teams, but if I had to give them a grade so far in this offseason, I'd give them a solid B. I think they made some pretty serviceable moves at some much needed positions with some of the departures. I just think they might have overspent in a couple of areas. And in one big particular area, I just don't think you're going to get that value back nearly what you're thinking.
Yeah, I agree. All right, AG, what's going on with the Cowboys? They got a lot of retentions here, not a whole lot of signings.
Yeah, I mean, lackluster signings for sure. Maybe PJ Locke might be a serviceable safety, but it's not much to write home about the people they added, other than trading for Rashawn Gary, which I think is just comical that they, in the span of one calendar year, basically just swap Micah Parsons for Rashawn Gary and some picks, and got a guy who they wouldn't pay Micah Parsons, but they'll pay Rashawn Gary close to the same, same money for someone who had he had like 5 sacks through the first 5 weeks and then didn't do anything else the rest of the year. But hey, Jerry knows what he's doing, right? So,
said no one ever.
Yeah, there was a hint of sarcasm in there. But I mean, I guess respect that they, kind of like the Rams, understand where their weakness was from last year. Like, they obviously had a potent offense. Their defense is what was their Achilles heel, and you could see in them at least trying to make competent moves, I guess, to fix that. Obviously, Rashawn Gary being the biggest one. The other ones are just kind of probably depth pieces. Maybe Jalen Thompson, with that money, they expect him to start, but those other guys are just, rotational pieces. But I mean, we'll see if Rashawn Gary is enough. Just getting the Packers' old defensive line is enough to make their defense better. But I'd probably give this like a C+, B- right now, just based on the moves they've made.
Okay. Good stuff. Quick note from Maxx Crosby's agent, as he's back on a plane, a private jet going back home after being in Baltimore for his physical. It says Maxx continues to be on track in his recovery, and if anything is ahead of schedule, according to his surgeon, Dr. Neil L. Tracy. Maxx remains on track to return during the offseason program and will undoubtedly return as a dominant game wrecker he has been the past 7 seasons. So that is the official word from C.J. LeBoy, Maxx Crosby's agent. Just to kind of wrap that up, put a bow on that topic that we talked about at the top of the podcast. But yeah, Interesting developments in Baltimore
What's
and
the
Vegas.
agent supposed to say, though?
I'm
Max's knee is effed.
right.
Nobody
He's
get
screwed.
him. Yeah.
Right, exactly. He's screwed. Indeed. Indeed. Okay. But yeah, wholly overpaid Batman with Odafe Owe. I just want to say that. I mean, that's brutal. And I see why the Chargers were like, yeah, that's too rich for our blood if he's only going to be a designated pass rusher. So I get it. But yeah, he'll be great, on third down, trying to get to the quarterback. But really good and unique talent. I mean, 6'5", 243 pounds to run a 4.340 doesn't grow on trees. So yeah, he's a freak of an athlete. But yeah, but like you said, to RG's point, he's really bad in run defense and he can't be on the field on rundown, so that's going to be a problem for them. And yes, as a utility guy, that's a little off-putting for me to pay that much.
Yeah. I would say though, I think Dan Quinn has a decent track record of getting the most out of his edge rushers. So that's not to knock Jesse Minter, obviously, or Zach Orr, I guess. Or
well, more so Zach Orr, because he had a great year with Jesse.
Yeah. But I mean, Dan Quinn has made other
lesser known
pieces pretty good. So maybe that was the thinking in giving him that type of money and getting him in the building. But yeah, I agree. That's a lot and crazy that pretty good majority of the contract is guaranteed. Wild.
I will say this though, in regards to the team as a whole. The only way that this signing can be the only way you're going to get as much value as you can out of this signing is if the offense is as dominant as it was when Jaden was healthy for the entire year. Because at that point, if you're leading most of these games, you're teeing off your pass rushers anyways. That's when you're really going to get the full effect of what Owe can bring. So to Washington's potential credit, if they're able to get that offense right and Jaden's able to stay healthy all year, this could be a move where we look back on like, damn, it maybe it was worth the $25 million because you had the offense that could have let him shine.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a great point. It would just see they got a new OC now. So we'll see what the new OC can turn around. In
very young
OC, very young OC. So we'll see if he can make an impact. Then yeah, you're right. They'll definitely get the full potential out of Owe, and he could be talking double-digit sacks. So we'll see how things go. All right, the other two teams in the NFC East, the Giants and the Eagles. The Eagles don't have anything on this list outside of Rick Willis.
What opposite lists here?
I know, right? It's definitely polar opposite. I mean, whoever wants the Giants, we'll just talk briefly about the Eagles. They got Rick Willis. That's pretty much it. And re-signed Jordan Davis. So what do you guys think the future of Jalen Carter is? Let's just put that out there real quick for the Eagles.
Cannot be in Philadelphia.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already been reported to be offered in trade talks, so I think they kind of made the decision, let's pay Jordan Davis and move off of Jalen Carter, which is crazy, but I just don't see how it's physically possible that they could have all the guys that are already on the payroll as much as they are and then give Jalen Carter the money he's undoubtedly deserving of. So writing's on the wall.
You want to know a guy that's worth 2 firsts? That guy right there. Got attitude problems, 100%. But you want to talk about age and game record?
Yeah.
That's the type of guy you fork up 2 firsts for.
Just watch the Chiefs Super Bowl loss.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Made Pro Bowl.
He's part of the blueprint. So,
Agreed. So and they paid Jordan Davis, a couple of days ago. So that kind of is a signal that they're likely moving off of him. Which I honestly, truly, I would have probably picked the latter. I'd have probably tried to trade Jordan Davis and kept Jalen, but that's just me. I mean, game records like him don't come along every day, unless again he just don't mess well in the locker room for some strange reason. But yeah, I'm keeping Jalen if I'm a GM, just based on this production.
I think it's got to be a locker room thing because even watching their games, like you could see that they clearly value Jalen Carter more than Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis was like a pass rush specialist, interior D lineman. It's not like he was a full-time starter out there. But
Jordan was mainly the run defense guy, and Jalen was just every down guy. So okay. All right. So who wants to go over the Giants?
I'll let you start with this one.
I mean, the Giants, it's pretty obvious that Harbaugh just wanted to get some of his old guys back to his new squad with Isaiah Likely, and it makes it even funnier. I saw a tweet like very early when Harbaugh signed, agreed to become the Giants coach, and they're like, Harbaugh was playing the long game, working out an extension for Mark Andrews just so he could sign Isaiah Likely to his new place, and that's exactly
Right.
what happened.
How diabolical is that?
It's
That's wild.
well, him and getting our Darius Washington. He's getting guys that are going to fit the system he wants to run. I think they're making good moves to put a good supporting cast around Jackson Dart in the offense and have just a better defense. All the pieces they already have, I like the additions they made considering the edge rush trio that they have, and just making their defense more stout and getting a pretty good secondary, some secondary pieces. So I like what the Giants are doing for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're definitely making some Raven-like moves, and they're just making some, roster-fitting moves. Re-signing Illuminor, I know that name makes the Raiders fans cringe. He was with the Raiders a few years ago, and they dumped on him pretty hard. But he impressed them enough to not only play all last season in place of Evan Neal, who they drafted in the first round, but not only that, but get an extension to play the right tackle. So they pretty much have solidified their tackle room with Andrew Thomas and him. So it'll be the question of what they do with the draft picks that they have, because they're picking high again. So but I mean, the roster looks really good on paper, and with Harbaugh, stabilizing that room from a culture perspective, I definitely think they're doing pretty good. The only thing I got questions about is what they chose of offensive guys to run this offense. They got a guy by the name of Greg Roman in the room as a consultant on top of some retreads. The guys have kind of been maligned in the league as being kind of outdated. So
the only thing Greg Roman's going to be consulting is the order they placed to Burger King. Not much other consulting he's going to do there.
Pizza order, post game pizza. What do we get?
Exactly.
I will say this too with the Giants. I love the moves they made, like you mentioned, putting a lot of talent around Jackson Dart, the O-line. I love Isaiah Likely paired with Theo Johnson. A lot of 2 tight end sets are going to be run out of that team. Also not mentioned on here because it was a bit of a later signing, Patrick Ricard, the fullback, to get that running game going a little bit more.
Oh my God, Ricard and Scatterbo in the backfield?
Yeah, I was just about to say that is going to be we were just talking about the legendary running back
package.
We were talking about the legendary running back fullback duos. This obviously isn't that. I'm not trying to say that, but I love kind of bringing that old school football back of maybe Ricard gets a lot more carries than people are expecting, with this tandem they have there. I'm kind of excited to see what happens.
Yeah, and there's still rumors they might draft Jeremiah Love in the first round. So there's that.
3-headed monster in the backfield.
Oh God. Yeah.
Let's get that quadruple option going with Jackson Dart. Just put all 3 of them in the backfield. Wishbone, yeah.
Yeah, so it should be interesting. Yeah, but Giants are trending finally one team in New York that can finally get their life together.
Yeah.
That's the really thing. Only saving grace that you really say. But yeah, the Giants are definitely trending in the right direction with Harbaugh, and I'm assuming Joe Shane will be gone soon, so they can get rid of all of the toxicity out of the building and move forward amicably. Yeah,
for sure.
I like it. Okay, good stuff. All right, let's talk about the NFC North now. Let's talk about the Bears and the Lions, who made some pretty solid moves. Some interesting things happened with the Lions by them letting Taylor Decker go, which kind of signals what I feel like they're going to do in the draft in the first round. But they got some interesting stuff going on here. They lost their center, and they got another one back. Yes, and then of course the Bears still spending money with Caleb being on his rookie deal, so they got some interesting things going on here. So let's trade off here and let's talk about the Bears and the Lions.
Yeah, I'll start with the Bears here first. I think the Bears kind of made the right moves given the surprise, I guess we'll call it, that opened up before free agency started for them, which was of course their last year's free agent big ticket signing of Drew Dahlman, retired abruptly, and obviously no hate towards that whatsoever. If a player decides it's over and they want to hang it up, all the more power to them. We see a lot of these guys leave the league with tons of problems and things that I really don't want to get into right now, but it is a brutal league for a reason. So always got to give the respect to the players when they feel like it's time to step away. But to the Bears' credit, they pivoted in a really good way, trading for Garrett Bradbury, the center from New England. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go out here and say like, oh, he's better than Dahlman or he's even the same level as Dahlman, but they made a good move to get a serviceable starting veteran center, which is really the only thing you can do when somebody of that caliber from your team abruptly retires. I fully expect the Bears to go center at some point in the draft, maybe in the second or third round. We'll see what happens in that regard. But yeah, I think they did a really good job of pivoting and bouncing back from an unexpected retiring. Love the addition of Kobe Bryant over on the safety spot, as well as Devin Bush. I thought those were their two biggest moves they made, and I thought they hit it out of the park with both of those. I'm excited to see Kobe Bryant away from that McDonald system and see if he's really proving to be a starting caliber safety. Devin Bush, we know, is a very serviceable, great starting linebacker. So I think this defense is going to take a step forward next year, which is what they needed this year. Caleb Magic might actually be, will result in some more wins now that the defense can hang up a little bit more.
Okay, good stuff. All right, what you got on the Lions?
Yeah, Lions, I think you can see that they realized they needed to retool their offensive line or invest a little more in that, and they at least did that, I guess, with what's available. I mean, traded David Montgomery for one guy, and then, signed Cade Mays, who was one of the, I guess, younger center options out there in free agency, which we're in the same boat as the Bears to some degree, and losing Frank Ragnow, who retired and then wanted to come back and then didn't. And so you knew they needed to do something at center. But yeah, I'm kind of scratching my head at what they were doing by moving off of David Montgomery, which was an effective 1-2 tandem in their running game, and then replenishing that with Pacheco. Obviously, like I said, I love Pacheco, but I think it's pretty obvious that dude has no vision as a running back. So, I mean, I don't know what they think they're going to get out of him, but yeah, it to be seen, I guess. But I agree with you that I think the moves they've made and moving off from Decker kind of signifies that they're going to go offensive line early, in this draft.
Right.
Got a new nickname tandem of running backs there.
A different kind of knuckles.
It's actually belonging to a different animal.
Knuckles. Of the moose variety?
Yeah, of the moose, of the Canadian type, we'll say that.
Oh man! So if you wonder what we're talking about, the Lions fans were crashing out because they were mad that David Montgomery got traded for, and they replaced him with Pacheco. And they went from Sonic and Knuckles to Sonic and Moose Knuckles.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh
man, that is one of the funnier tweets I've seen in a good while.
Yeah, that was
ironically enough, better nickname than Sonic and Knuckles.
Right. Yeah. I'm not a guy you want to be called Moose Knuckles, though.
Hell no. Not for him, but for us as fans, it's 100% a better name.
It's never going to be said on air. That's
no. Yeah, no, not at all. No. But
maybe in a hot mic situation, but not live. That's for sure.
Oh man. Damn,
I would love a commentator if Pacheco ever breaks one off, just be like, and there goes Moose running down the side.
The Moose is
loose.
The Moose is loose.
God.
That's not going away.
Hell no, it's not.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yes, the Moose is loose in Detroit.
Oh,
it's fitting because it's cold up there. They're right next to Canada. Yeah, it's fitting. Oh man, good stuff. All right, so let's talk about the other two NFC North teams real quick. The Packers and the Vikings. Interesting. Again, not a whole lot of signings in either team's perspective. One trade, mostly retention. So, I guess we can get through this really quick. It's not much here to talk about outside of clearly Zaire Franklin going from the Colts to the Packers. In a quick trade, they were trying to get off his cap number. In a space, they moved them over to the Packers. They lost Quay Walker, but yeah, I mean, hey, not this.
Took your boy St. Juice.
Yeah, they can have.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You didn't play that bad for us, to be honest with you, but I mean,
but Minter's gone, so I feel like the Minter magic is going to be gone with him.
Agreed.
And got Sky Moore. Hey.
Oh yeah, Mr. Stonehands. Yeah, him. Okay.
I remember when the Chiefs drafted him and teams were like, how did the league let Sky Moore fall to the Chiefs? And then they saw him play and they're like, That's how.
Oh, never mind. Right.
He did
Yeah.
catch a touchdown in the Super Bowl. That's about all he did.
That's his highlight.
The pinnacle of his career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says something that San Fran traded for him and then said, "We're good."
So, I mean, holistically, let's just get this out there. So, what do you put? I think this puts them like literally third and fourth in a pecking order right now, based upon the moves that they made or hadn't made. In my perspective, I mean, especially with Micah trying to come back off the injury and that kind of thing.
Traded Rashawn Gary.
Right. Gary's gone. So, I mean, outside of them like doing something unexpected in the draft, I think that they're already looking up at the Lions and the Bears. Do you guys agree?
I think the Lions is a bit of a tougher one. We'll see what happens in their draft in regards to that running game as well. And I think, like you mentioned, it really just comes down to Micah. If Micah is back and healthy and beating Micah, then I think the Packers are still right there for this division.
Yeah.
Right there with the Bears.
I think you put the Vikings at the bottom.
Yep.
And then Lions and then Packers, Bears. That's how I would assess that.
Okay.
Just because it seems like every year the Packers like don't do much and they're always right there.
Relevant, right? Yeah. It has some shuffling with the O-line too, because clearly Eldon Jenkins and Rasheed Walker got let go. So they got some shuffling to do there. But yeah, so we'll see. They resigned Sean Ryan, so that's good for them. He was pretty good for them in the last couple of years. So yeah.
I will say though, the Lions do have a last place schedule.
They do.
And somehow the Vikings finished ahead of them last year. So that the Lions could be very scary this year.
Yeah, I mean, especially playing that fourth place schedule, they definitely should get some easy wins out of the schedule. So yeah, we'll see. There's still rumors of Kyler Murray potentially going to Minnesota as well. So you got that nugget to kind of broach when it comes about. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely kind of agree with that order. I mean, you can flip flop between 2 and 3, but sure, I think the Bears are the cream of the crop right now, and how things have changed
quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
How the turntables.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the NFC South, man. We kind of browbeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a little earlier with them letting Mike Evans go, and they haven't done much in free agency either. Getting Gainwell's a pretty good ad with him and Bucky Irvin. Anzalone, the linebacker, because clearly Levante David is a day-to-day, year-to-year kind of linebacker at this point. The re-sign of Kate Otten was kind of weird to me because, I mean, he hadn't really done much of anything of noteworthiness, and he got 10 a year from them, 20 guaranteed. A little rough. But the Saints, ironically, have made some interesting signs, in my opinion. So anybody want to cover them?
Yeah, how the hell do the Saints keep doing this? It feels like every year we go into offseason and we're like, oh, Saints are a negative cap yet again.
I mean, it's not just negative. It'll be like $50 million.
Yo, that's a great point.
They're the negative team,
Right.
I think they were even worse than the Chiefs, and they were down there at the start.
They were last, they're always last. And since Peyton was there, they probably spent about 6 to 7 years bottom of the barrel is cap space at the start of free agency. By the time the league year starts, they're solvent and literally have money to spend. I don't know how they do it.
I was gonna say, not only are they solvent, but they got, like you said, they got money. Like, where the hell? Like David Edwards, that's a great signing. 4 years, 61 mil. What the hell? Travis Etienne. Now I don't know what the hell's gonna happen with Kamara. So Still, Travis Etienne, Caden Ellis, I thought was a really underrated signing as well. And then, Ryan Wright. Wow, that's kind of a little bit of a tongue twister name. Ryan Wright. Punter, whatever. Noah Fant, serviceable tight end. Blocking tight end more so, if anything. So I like those moves. And I think it's weird with the Saints because I don't think they're anywhere near competing, but you're also in the NFC South, which means you're right there to compete.
Be competing every year.
And with what Tyler Shuck showed last year, I mean, hey, I gave the Saints fans a lot of shit last year for what I thought they were going to be. And shocker, they were not great, but they were better than I thought. Hey, the Saints could definitely make some noise this upcoming year. I will say that.
I agree. I think they're going to be looking up at least one team in this division based on what they did. And we're going to get to them in a minute. And I'm very proud of what they're doing over there because I was very skeptical with their owner and his cringe-worthy moments that he's had. But the GM Dan Morgan and the coach Canales, they're definitely doing pretty big things over there. But Yeah, I'm gonna give a quick PSA to Todd Bowles. Sir, you're coaching for your job based upon these
Yeah.
wins already. I'm sorry to tell you.
Oh yeah.
You're coaching for your job, sir. If they don't finish, at least make the playoffs, I think that he's got to be gone. But well, I won't put the cart before the horse. But yeah, they're not doing much in free agency yet, for sure. And a lot of the good guys are gone, so we'll see. But yeah, I do like what the Saints are doing over there, and it's trending up. I mean, I think that with them having a nice, really good, innovative play caller in Kellen Moore, I think they're trending up. And if Tyler Shuck can play serviceable game manager type football, they should definitely be above 500 this year for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I would say that them signing ETN, same with the I know we'll get into the Chiefs later, but I think that signifies that both of those teams know that Jeremiah Love's not making it to them at 8 or 9.
That's a good
So,
point. That's a good point.
they saw the combine buzz heating up and knew they had to address running back in a different way, and that's why you see them, throw this type of money at ETN, which I don't know that was necessarily a great investment, but they had to do something if they wanted to beef up the running back room.
Yeah, if he stays healthy, I think they'll get 3 good years out of that deal. The 4th year might be a little stretch. They might have to rework the deal or something like that. But if they front loaded it with his guarantees, then he'll obviously can rework his deal, and it won't be a big cap hit to either move him or rework his deal or restructure it. So yeah, but yeah, I like the signing though. And then if they could trade potentially for some more capital or players, that'll even make it even better for them.
And I think didn't they restructure Kamara's deal to where there's essentially like no guarantees left or so? I feel like there was some I know there was a restructure that happened. I don't know exactly.
Restructures going on in New Orleans for them.
Well, yeah, that had to happen. But yeah, I think that signing also signifies they're moving off from Kamara somehow, some way.
Yeah, I agree. And I think they'll get a pretty good price for him. I ain't Maxx Crosby level deal, but yeah, I think they'll get some for him.
Yeah.
So okay. All right, let's talk about the Panthers and the Falcons. They've been pretty busy in free agency, for sure. I would say that the Panthers didn't do a lot, but they did 2 big ones.
Yeah,
big signings for sure. Impactful, going out and nobody saw. This is one of the shocker ones for me. I did not see Jalen Phillips going to the Panthers at all. I mean, either going back to the Eagles or going somewhere else that kind of look more like a contending team. But I mean, hell, I guess you can't turn down 4 years.
Right? 120 mil. No, I'd go to the Panthers too.
Yeah, and he did make the playoffs last year. He won the division, so hell, what I mean? Yeah. Then he paired him up with Devin Lloyd, 3 years, $45 million, which I think we all thought it was pretty inexpensive for his talent level, right?
Yep. Only 25 guaranteed too. That was shocking.
I know. That's crazy. 15 a year. I mean, that's pretty rich for a linebacker if you think about it. I think somebody like Fred is probably making 20.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll make it 15. It might be on par for what the market is for linebackers. He ain't resetting the market like Linderbaum is and getting 9 above.
No, and Lloyd, I think his problem was he had 1 good year and it was last year, and so he kind of got
a good rookie year. He had a good rookie year. But the other 2 years were a little bit, I don't know if that was a dysfunction around Urban Meyer or whatever the case may be, but they had. I mean, he's had 3 coaches over that time frame. He had Liam Cohen, Peterson, and Urban Meyer. So yeah, it's a lot going on over there in Jacksonville. Yeah. Okay. But yeah. So who wants to talk about the Falcons? Because I'm very curious about which I feel about this team and what direction it's going. Because I'm curious.
They made the right decision in signing Tua, the only other left-handed quarterback in the league. So, I mean, props to that, I suppose, in terms of either him or Penix. But I'll say this. If Tua is Tua is a great backup. I'm talking purely backup.
Yeah.
If you need him to start for a month, he can go 2-2. And that's essentially what a backup's job is to at least go 500 while the starter's out.
Mm-hmm.
If you are relying on Tua to win you games, you're cooked. You're not going to get winning quarterback play out of a guy like that. It just is what it is. I love this move because of the talent they have there already in place. You retain Kyle Pitts with the franchise tag. Drake London is a bona fide number 1 wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Bijan Robinson might be a top 5 weapon in the entire league. I mean, the dude can catch, can run. He runs like a freight train. It literally is like young Derrick Henry with catching ability. Like he just looks ridiculous when he's moving and sprinting down the field at his size. So and obviously you retain Austin Hooper as well. So I think they have a ton of talent around that team. And Tua can work with that. Obviously, we saw him with prime Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, oh my God, Devon Achane, and even Jonnu Smith a little bit last year. So we know Tua can work with some pretty high octane weapons, but this is obviously all for Michael Penix. So we'll see what happens. Kevin Stefanski, you got a lot to work with on the offensive side of the ball here. And they're the only thing I will say about the Falcons is they are screwed in the draft this year. Traded away your first round pick last year for James Pierce.
Yeah.
And that's not going so well.
Right.
So we'll see what happens in that regard. But the Falcons, again, it's the NFC South. It's anybody's division, really. So can it be theirs this year? Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's the Panthers to lose, in my opinion.
To lose?
Yeah, I think it's the Panthers division to lose.
Damn, okay. I mean, I'd have more confidence if they actually won 10 games or something, but they backpedaled into that division because the Bucs lost.
Did, but they didn't have Devin Lloyd and Jalen Phillips either. On top of having 2 young passers that they're grooming, and you got your boy Derek Brown in the middle of this defense. They're going along with Jalen Phillips. Yeah, that's a lethal combination.
Ascending, T-Mac.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly. So, I think that this is their division to lose for sure.
Did lose Rico Dowdle, though. That is a massive
loss. Supposedly going to get Jonathan Brooks back. So
yeah. So if he comes back,
forgot about him.
A lot of people do. He's been a minute.
It has.
The Falcons signed Tua. I agree. I think Tua only found a spot because he went to a team that also has another left-handed quarterback. And, we saw Drake London talk about this last year and how difficult it was to go from Penix to Cousins just because it's a different looking ball, different throwing mechanics. So, he found the ideal spot in that regard. But, they're screwed at QB. They're screwed at trying to build for the future, at least right now. So I also think it's funny that they re-signed 2 guys that they let walk in the past, and Hooper and South.
Right. So, that was interesting. I thought Hooper played for them before. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, he did. That's where he got a bag from. I
was gonna say he was actually pretty solid.
Kind of good one year, and then I think New England threw a hell of money at him and Hunter Henry, and then we're like, oh, Hunter Henry's the only good one.
Right.
Or only decent one, I'll say, But yeah, I think you just saw a team that kind of Atlanta understands that their back's against the wall to some degree, and they just needed to make some serviceable moves to get people in the building, really.
Yeah, we'll see. I won't call it a hot take, but it gives me, I have what they call a gift of discernment, right? I kind of feel things don't, my spidey senses, my force sensibility, my, kind of kicks up, and I kind of get a feeling of something's going to go wrong. I have a feeling that this particular outfit in Atlanta is going to go bad. I have a feeling. I don't know why, but I just have that feeling. I don't like what's going on there. Penix is hurt, coming back from it. Sua's one hit away from being hurt every single play. It's a weird dynamic. What they're doing online, I'm sure.
Still got Kirk Cousins there.
Right, still got Kirk Cousins there. Technically, James Pierce is in jail or facing jail time. It's a mess. There's a lot of red flags and dysfunction going on over there. Even the fact that he got Stefanski, I'm not sure if he can't rectify this dysfunction in Cleveland, he damn sure can't rectify the dysfunction in Atlanta and without all that going on. So
no,
he's not a dysfunctional fixer, in my opinion. So we'll see. It just gives me pause about what they're going to do. That's why I say it's Carolina's division to lose, in my opinion. The Saints are still rebuilding. The Buccaneers aren't. We don't know. They're, like I said, Bo's fighting for a job, and dysfunction in Atlanta. I think it's Carolina's division to lose, in my opinion.
I agree with that, Coach.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's move over to the AFC. Let's talk about the AFC East, the Bills and the Dolphins. Apropos talking about Tua, and they $99 million of dead money to get rid of him in order to sign Malik Willis to a 3-year deal. Malik Willis got a bag for only, playing a handful of starts. That's just crazy to me.
He has less than 10 starts in his career.
Yeah. Yeah, don't have a full season on his belt, but he got $67 million and 45 of it guaranteed over the next 3 years. But with all that dead money, they couldn't do much. I mean, so Malik Willis is their golden boy in a sense, and they re-signed Greg Dulcich, but it's not much there. But the Bills were in the news. We're trading for DJ Moore and getting themselves a number 1 receiver, signing D. Alford and Kyle Allen. So I would argue that they're probably going to go heavy in defense in the draft. They retained Connor McGovern. They got a center back, and Dawson Knox. They resigned. I was actually shocked that they re-signed Dawson Knox because they got Kincaid already. They gave him a 3-year deal. They must love him as a second tight end.
They like those 2 tight end sets, man. They love running the ball with James Cook, and you can put those 2 tight ends out there and really keep the defense guessing in terms of if you're going to throw or not, because they also throw out of that formation a lot as well. So I think it was a smart move. And again, we kind of expected the Bills to just run it back. You keep Joe Brady, let me rephrase that. You promote Joe Brady to your head coaching position. So I mean, obviously his priorities were going to be to keep these offensive guys on the field, and that's really what they did with McGovern, Knox, and of course trading for DJ Moore. So you're already starting to see that imprint Joe Brady is having on this team as the head coach now.
Yeah, great point. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I just don't know that DJ Moore was. I think they overpaid for him, and then to give him the money they did, that's a questionable move for me, but.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, a lot of people say the second round pick was a little high, but then when you get into some Maxx, talking about who's worth a second, who's worth a first, all that good stuff. I mean, when he gets targets, he's productive. I mean, he was definitely drowning in Chicago because there was so much talent on the field with a ascending quarterback. So he wasn't getting the love that he was getting, prior to that. But but him being the clear number 1 in this conversation. Yeah, I mean, he should get all the love from a number 1 perspective. So we'll see what type of production he can give the Bills. But they definitely need somebody that can catch the football, because that was their Achilles heel last year, because they just didn't have nobody to throw to outside of the tight ends. It was James Cook, Josh Allen being Superman, and Dalton Kincaid if he was healthy. That was their offense. So yeah, rough go. And AG, going back to Kamara real quick, this contract is not pretty.
Yeah,
there might be. I'm looking at it. They might be waiting to post June 1 to trade him, because if they do it pre-draft, they're looking at $10 million in dead money that they're going to lose. There's no net gain by trading. There's no net gain by trading them. Just to bring that full circle. But we'll see how that goes. But so let me ask you this question: would y'all feel like this puts the Dolphins and the Bills in the division conversation? Are they already looking up at the Patriots? Based upon the moves they made so far?
Dolphins are absolutely looking up to the Patriots. Yeah. Dolphins are looking up to every team in this division.
Even the Jets?
Maybe even maybe even the entire AFC at this point,
Wow. Okay.
Honestly, that's really not like I'm not saying
obviously this to be rebuilding and they understand that they have to rebuild.
Come on.
It's a lot. The biggest cap hit of all time. They saw Russell Wilson's deal and they're like, okay, we can beat that. Hold my beer.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Bills made enough moves to stay where they've been, kind of always going to be that Super Bowl contender. And let's just, I think that they did get Josh Allen a true number 1 target that he hasn't had since they got rid of Stephon Diggs.
Right.
We saw how potent that offense can be with someone that they can feed targets to and rely on. So I think, the Bills made the right moves. If maybe I don't agree with what they gave up or what they paid the guy, but they definitely made the moves to right the ship to get them, back in that conversation with a little more confidence. But I mean, I think the Dolphins, like I said, with Arizona, clearly understand that they're on a 5-year plan with their new coach. And, I said Malik was going to go to Arizona. I think RG said Miami, but, this was a perfect landing spot with his old DC in Green Bay, whatever he was, player personnel, VP, whatever the hell he was there. But, he's with familiar people. They probably obviously had a plan of coming in like to strip this down, bring in Malik and see what they can get out of him, why they kind of build the roster around him. So we'll just see what happens with Miami.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious because I feel like not only they need a lot of defensive help from the Bills perspective, what type of defense are they going to be playing with McDermott not being there? So is it going to be more shootout-esque for Josh Allen? They have to go against these AFC juggernauts, or are they going to play better defense or decent defense enough where he doesn't have to put up 40 points a game to win ball games? I don't know. You need a lot, and there's going to be a lot of young guys coming in the building, first-time players. Yeah, I in my personal opinion, it could be a hot take for me, but I think the Bills are looking up at the Patriots already. In my opinion, I think they're already looking into. Unless they do something, miraculous, they even still over the cap right now. They still got to do some restructuring to get over the cap by tomorrow morning. They're still $14 million under the cap, with the DJ Moore deal coming in. And
it's
he doesn't
crazy.
Yeah.
I was going to say we haven't seen any news of a Josh Allen restructure, so I think that's wild.
That's wild.
I mean, you would think that's usually the first person that restructures to build around them is the
quarterback,
franchise quarterback making a lot. I mean, Mahomes does it every year.
Right. And he doesn't have any guaranteed money on his deal after 2027, so it's prime and ready. It's prime and ready to do it. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I think that because we're gonna talk about the Patriots and the Jets now. I think that they're already, the moves they're making, and it's very calculated. And I got to give Mike Vrabel a lot of credit, man. Just to turn this franchise around so fast, get to the Super Bowl already, and be prime and ready to compete going forward. For the next 2 years, two maybe 3 years of Drake May's rookie deal. Yeah, it's
3. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
fifth year. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, going out and getting Romeo Doubs, they was sniffing for another receiver once they got out of the playoff conversation and got Romeo Doubs on a 4-year, $68 million deal. Yeah, I think they overpaid for that.
I think yes and no. I think, which is obviously extremely confusing answer, but I think yes, they overpaid what we think Romeo Doubs' talent and skill level is. I don't think they overpaid in the fact that with this offense, with Drake May, I think Romeo Doubs is going to have his best year in the NFL next season. And I think if that's the case, I don't think you can really say it was an overpay.
I mean, Doubs is just in a very crowded room in Green Bay.
Yep.
But when he was given the chance, he did pretty good.
And when everybody else was hurting, it was just him. He scored, at will. Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like they made him that's not like top 10 money, so I wouldn't say they overpaid. Looking at another team in the AFC South,
we'll get to them.
Yeah. So no, I don't think they overpaid. And then the other moves, Vera Tucker was a guy we talked about a lot.
Yeah. Great move.
Good move. Draymond Jones, great move.
Yeah, I think that's great spending on both of those accounts. Yeah.
The Jets, you could just tell they're just trying to get an interception next year.
Damn it! You took it from me. I was gonna say it. I was
sorry.
With Minka, they finally gonna get a pick this year, man. I love it. Oh, you took it right from under me.
I'm
man.
Sorry.
I just think there's just a bunch of shit at the wall, hoping something sticks. Because I don't see the vision here.
Hey, look at the bright side. They upgraded at QB.
Did they?
I don't think so.
I don't think they did.
Over Justin Fields? I mean, at least Geno Smith has had productive years in this league. We can't even say that about Justin Fields.
Well, okay, so you got you go from one spectrum to the other. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. Justin won't throw the ball, so he can't throw picks. And Geno throw the ball too damn much. He throw too many picks. So you get the best of both worlds.
That's true.
We don't want to throw picks this game. Put Justin in. Okay, we don't care. Put Geno in. It's just weird dynamic. I don't know.
I'll give you this. More exciting with Geno Smith at quarterback because you never know what you're going to get. You might get a moon ball for a touchdown. You might get 3 picks in a game. Yeah, but at least it's exciting.
Yeah, I guess
there's going to be some throwing,
Right, yeah.
Justin looks for his first read. If it's not there, I'm running. Which is in its own way exciting, but I don't. I wouldn't say it's an upgrade.
Yeah. Oh God! If somebody's fast rushing it, y'all remember that? You scream, "Oh God!" with the
the hot mic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, some nice pieces up front. I got Joseph Osai replaced Jermaine Johnson. Demario Davis going full circle, going back to the Jets where he started.
Yep.
Same thing with Geno going full circle. Mika being traded there. Kingsley going there, another edge. Yamato is a really good run stopper. Actually targeting him with the Chargers, get him potentially as a depth piece. Yeah, I think Dane Belton, they paid him a $4 million deal to be a rotational guy. Brees Hall, we don't know what's happening there. They franchise tagged him
off.
Exactly. Spend all that money on everybody else, but he won't give him no contract, right? That's weird.
And you were looking to trade him mid-season anyway, so yeah, it makes sense to franchise him.
Yeah. Again, just throwing stuff at the wall, hopefully it sticks. It's just what the Jets do, right? So yeah, we'll see.
I'll say though, it seems to be it seems that outside of McDuffie and I guess Jalen Watson, a lot of teams are a lot of these corners are taking these 1-year deals that I didn't think they would. I thought Reek Woolen, I thought Nashawn Wright coming off a Pro Bowl year was going to get some multi-year deal from someone. So it's just interesting to see some of those secondary players that were at the top of the totem pole, so to speak, going into this are taking these prove-it deals,
Okay. You think it's a byproduct of what's in the draft? Because it's about 5 or 6 good corners.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, I 100%. But it's just it's like Reek Woolen, especially. I thought for sure coming off a Super Bowl win,
I agree.
Being an effective player, being one of the most fastest corners in the NFL, someone was going to give him a 3-4 year deal, and he went for one to Philly, which makes no sense. But
they already have 2 great starting corners there.
We got Mitchell and DeJean.
It's
so what's he get? I don't know, but
unless they want to throw him at safety with the departure of Reed Blankenship, but I just don't see that.
Well, no, I mean he can play the outside corner. Cooper DeJean plays the slot.
That's true.
Yeah, so he can just put the opposite side of
Quinyon.
Quinyon, yeah.
Yeah.
But still, yeah.
I think it's also like you mentioned about the oh my God, blanking the cornerback market and the fact that the draft is not so hot. It's really not a hot wide receiver draft either. And I think that's why you're seeing a lot of these wide receivers go for some big money. It's because a lot of teams don't really feel like they can get a starting caliber guy. Like last year's draft was a major wide receiver draft. I think even the year before that, there was there's been some pretty hot wide receiver drafts in these last 5 years or so. So I'm not totally shocked to see a lot of teams overpay for some vets, maybe.
Yeah, and the quick nugget about the draft, there's a lot of good slot receivers in the draft, but not a lot of good outside receivers. So if you don't need a slot, then guess what? Right. Right, exactly.
And he might actually go to you guys, Alex.
I know, I wouldn't be mad. But
right. So in that space, if you're not looking for a slot guy, you're looking for an outside guy, then you're looking elsewhere, obviously. So that's why to your point, RG, a lot of guys got paid from a wide receiver perspective. But conversely, the corners aren't getting paid because there are good corners in the draft.
Yep.
So it's a good dynamic that you brought up. See, I like that. All right, so let's move on to the next group, the AFC North. We talk about Maxx Crosby. Clearly, this was recorded or taken down before Max trade got rescinded, which leaves the Ravens with practically nothing on the books in free agency.
Lost all their players and got nothing.
Yeah, right. Only thing they did was resign Huntley. Yeah.
Pro Bowler Huntley brought him back.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And not much on the Bengals side either, which is weird. With all the needs they have on defense, they did get 2 defensive players in Boye Mafe after losing Osai, and they got Brian Cook from the Chiefs, right?
Yep.
Right? Yeah. So not a lot going on here yet. So hopefully they'll maybe I won't call it bargain bin shopping for the next couple of days, but they'll make some moves going forward. But
it's the Bengals. That's what they do. They bargain bin shop.
They do. They're the more bin shoppers.
Per Adam Schefter, Raiders have already received calls from several teams about Maxx Crosby. So
don't say.
Also, unrelated to football, but Bam Adebayo scored 83 points.
83. That's wild.
I was gonna
second most all time in a game,
and from a center.
Yeah, that's stupid.
In a guard-driven league, a center scored 83 points. That is insanity.
I just hate that he had to knock Kobe down one.
I know that sucks. I hate that. I'm a Lakers fan. Love Kobe. So yeah, that sucks for him for that record to fall to third. But yeah, I agree. That's insane to finish job at 83. and especially in this league this year.
Probably took the Angel Reese approach, just missed a lot of his own shots, got his own rebound, put him back.
Right.
But back to
benefit of
football.
dating Asia Wilson, the benefit of dating Asia Wilson, you kind of rub us off for you, maybe. I don't know.
Hey, I mean, it's working for him, whatever.
In more ways than one.
Exactly.
True that.
Indeed. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. Ravens and Bengals, kind of sitting pat and not doing much. I mean,
well, and obviously,
yeah.
Well, obviously the Ravens went into.
You've been under a rock, Blackstone Media?
Yeah,
man.
You missed it. We talked about at the top of the show. Crosby going back to the Raiders. The deal is off. His physical was failed. He's back on the plane already and going back to Vegas.
No deal.
But
obviously with the timing of the Crosby thing, the Ravens, we're going into the tampering period thinking they already were set. So I can't really knock them for not doing much because they spent a lot of capital to get Maxx Crosby, and then in the 11th hour it didn't work. So I'm excited to see how they pivot because there are still some pieces out there, as we mentioned. And I think they will do that now that they have freed up space from what they were going to do with Crosby.
Quick nugget, too. They have 12 picks in the draft.
Yeah. Ravens?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah,
8,
they got a lot. They're up there.
Picks. They have 11 picks in the draft.
Wow.
11 picks in the draft, and they have
14.
4 in the top 115. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be all right then.
They'll be fine. They'll be just fine.
But Bengals, I don't know what they're doing.
Nobody ever knows.
And to give Brian Cook the money, Brian Cook's a great safety, a good safety, but was really only only a starter this last year. And to give him, $42.5 million. He's the highest paid safety out of this free agency group.
That's crazy.
That's a little bit of an overpay if you ask me, but
yeah, I agree. Yeah. But again, I told y'all, man, I'm on this train and I'm not going to leave it. Joe Burrow is going to request a trade between now and the end of the season. It's going to happen.
Trade or retire.
One of them. Andrew Luck treatment, or I just want to be gone from y'all. I still want to play football. But me and Jamar, we're out of here.
I think there might be another quarterback in that same draft class who's not far behind him.
Yeah,
although, if I was the Bengals, I'd tell Joe Burrow, this is the bed you made, buddy. You took this money.
Really.
You wanted Jamar and T to get their money. That's what we got to do.
That's fair.
But in the same vein, you still do nothing in the draft of noteworthiness to shore up the defense.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't know. Yes, it's rough in Cincinnati for sure. Rough being a Bengals fan. Oh man. So talking about even rougher times in Cleveland, obviously that's. Although I give them a lot of credit, they try. I think RG talked about this a little earlier, that they may be dysfunctional, but at least they try, because they definitely had every O-lineman on their starting list last year, all in free agency, and they retooled and replenished it in one offseason outside of one position. So when I got Zion Johnson, got Eldon Jenkins, got Tyus Howard in trade, re-signed Tevin Jenkins, so they got 4 out of 5 starters ready to roll, and then they'll just replace their left tackle most likely in the draft, and they'll be back in business with their new coach. What's the boy's name from the Ravens? Why am I blanking on his name too? Todd Monken. Yes, so Monken's going to be the new play caller / head coach in Cleveland. Who's going to be the quarterback though? Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders?
Hell no. Deshaun Watson should never start another game in this league unless he is the only quarterback on the roster that is healthy.
What was that as a selling pitch for Monken to say that I can make Deshaun work?
You could barely make Lamar work.
Got a lot of money.
MVP caliber player, and he was making you look good. He got you that head coaching job where you're at now. So I just don't think Deshaun Watson mentally, physically, emotionally. He got his money fully guaranteed. He's checked the hell out, man.
Think so?
And I don't blame him. Truly. I truly don't.
Let me throw this nugget at you. And this might come to fruition if Kevin Stefanski fails at making Michael Penix a franchise starter. But for some reason, Kevin Stefanski has issues with mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Maybe Tua will be good.
Yeah.
Possible. But you think about the quarterbacks that did well in this system, Baker Mayfield. Not mobile-esque. I mean, he can run, but he's not a runner. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Joe Flacco was clearly a pocket quarterback, but struggled with Deshaun Watson. Struggled with with Stewart's not a runner. He's not a runner, but clearly he didn't want to draft him, so he wasn't invested in trying to build him at all. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Michael Penix struggles in Stefanski's system. Is it Stefanski and mobile quarterbacks, or is it just those particular aspects of who they are at this stage of their careers? Because Deshaun Watson was a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback before he got to Cleveland.
Yeah,
you just forget how to be quarterback.
He was coming off of like almost 5,000 passing yard season. Like he was right behind Mahomes, and then just fell off. And obviously, all the other stuff happened.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
It was a very steep drop off.
Injuries. Yeah, it wasn't steep. It was. I mean, it was a really like fall off a cliff type of drop off. It really was. But I'm just curious to see if that's the thing with Stefanski and his ability to coach quarterbacks. He might just like mobile. He doesn't like mobile quarterbacks. He like pocket style quarterbacks, and that works better with his system. So if Tua works and Michael Penix doesn't, that might be a thing. So just a little something to put underneath your hat to think about in the season. But I'm curious. So if Deshaun Watson and Tom Munkin, clearly he needs to work with mobile quarterbacks. He worked with Lamar Jackson, won him MVP. So if he can make Deshaun Watson, they can get some money out of that deal that they signed into.
That they just restructure every year.
Exactly.
You're like, I kind of forgot he was there.
right. And they refuse to cut him, obviously, because they don't want to take that cap hit. So it'd be interesting. But they got an O-line back now. They still got Myles Garrett. They still got Mason Graham and Denzel Ward and those guys on the defensive side. So we'll see.
Like we said, though, someone was going to give Zion Johnson a bag just because he was 25 and available, and he got it.
That they did.
He got it.
Glad it wasn't us. And just
yeah. I mean, I would say that the only quality upgrade to the offensive line that they did was getting Elton Jenkins. That is not Tevin. But other than that, it's like, I mean, they had. Well, you got to think too, because they were moving on from. I mean, Wyatt Teller, Pro Bowl guard, Petonio, Pro Bowl guard. Jack Conklin was, often injured, but pretty serviceable right tackle.
Agreed.
Cedric Wills, their first round pick. He was out for a whole year, but like they had a lot of retooling to do, and I don't know that they necessarily did that in a very confident way, but I mean they were kind of at the nature of who was available and what they had with their cap. But them getting Elton Jenkins, I think, was a pretty good sign.
Yeah, I do, because he can play guard or center. It just depends on where they want to place him.
Yeah,
but he's versatile. Solid. I'm not sure why the Packers didn't keep him, to be honest with you, but that's just me. Especially when he only went for $12 million a year. I mean, I'd have done that deal every day.
Is he owed money from the Packers still?
No. I think he was free.
So.
He was a free agent. I was
going to say, I guess if he was, he would have probably signed for like a 1 year. I mean, I feel like most of those guys say F you to the team that cut him and signed for the league minimum. So they, make them pay. But yeah. So I think Rashad Walker is who they cut and they took the hit on. But I think Jenkins was free to go to sign with anybody. But like I said, we don't know what they're going to do, but they try hard in free agency. They never don't just sit on their hands. Yeah, that's true.
Sure. Yeah. So tell me how y'all feel about the Steelers, because I got some interesting things going on here with McCarthy over there. We don't know who the quarterback is, obviously, but they got two good receivers now. They got a good running back, Enrico Dowdle, Jamel Dean corner to go along with Joey Porter Jr. Asante Samuels came back, Cole Holcomb. I mean, Sans a quarterback, they look like a formidable team to me. Do you guys agree?
Yeah. I mean,
Go ahead, Alex. No. Go ahead, Alex. I got something for this.
I was going to say. I agree that they have a serviceable roster like they do every year on paper. Obviously they needed a second wide receiver because we saw what happened once DK had his suspension and how that offense looked. But it's like I feel like getting Michael Pittman Jr. is like getting the same type of receiver as DK, and it's like I don't know that that's really going to help their offense all that much, having two big-bodied guys on the outside. that can't do much else, but catch contested balls that if it is Aaron Rodgers, he can't really throw all that well anymore anyways. But I mean, these moves obviously tell me that the Steelers are just unwilling to rebuild the right way. They just are always going to be aggressive.
Down the road.
Yeah, just, be as aggressive as they think they can be to stay relevant, and that's all that matters to them. So they're going to keep doing it year in and year out, whether that's trading for someone and taking on their cap or, whatever. But they're just never going to reset it the right way. And I think that's probably why we saw Tomlin leave.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I'm right there with Alex, man. This is going to be a whole nother year of 9-8, 10-7, 8-9, somewhere around there. I just it's the same song and dance with the Steelers every year. To Alex's point, they refuse to retool in the appropriate way. They refuse to just have one season where, okay, maybe we don't win 8 games, maybe we only win 5 games, but we're actually in a position to draft a franchise quarterback because we haven't had one since Big Ben, and he retired back in 2018. I just don't know what the thought process is here. To your point, Coach,
wait,
they got
kicking the can down the road for 8 years now.
Yes, yeah. I'm pretty sure, right? Wasn't Kenny Pickett drafted in 2018?
Wow, probably.
I could totally be wrong about this, but I swear Big Ben retired in 2018.
Let's see. Man. Kenny Pickett was drafted 2022.
Oh, Jesus. All right. I was way off then.
Yeah. That was great.
Damn, wait, Big Ben was playing during COVID? Why am I just totally blanking on this?
It was COVID.
A lot of us played with COVID, right? Yeah.
Fair.
When did Ben last play? When was his last year? 2021 season was his last year. So
mind you, those last 2 seasons, he was a shell of himself, to be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say
anyways.
Maybe that's why it feels much longer, is because Big Ben was just a skeleton his final years in Pittsburgh. Right. But regardless, I mean, this is going to be the same exact thing. They'll win some games that teams aren't expecting them to. They're losing some games that teams don't expect them to, and they'll finish the season at about 500. Maybe they'll make the playoffs. Maybe they won't. It's just the same thing with the Steelers.
Yeah. Just keep this definition of insanity. Keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
The only way I could justify what they're doing is that, the AFC North in itself is pretty wide open, I'd say.
Yeah, I would agree.
You have a wild card with Minter in Baltimore.
You do.
The Browns are the Browns.
Bengals are the Bengals.
Bengals are the Bengals. So, I mean, you can't totally fault them for trying to stay competitive.
And technically, they won the division last year, so I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just damn. What?
Fair.
Yeah.
So what are they doing? Who's the quarterback? I mean, obviously it's Aaron Rodgers or I don't know.
Howard. Will Howard.
Kyler Murray, I guess. I don't know.
That'd be interesting. If you got Kyler Murray with those receivers, that'd be interesting. That run game would be interesting. Okay. All right, then we'll see.
We will.
All right, let's forward over to the AFC South and talk about the Texans, who have been busy.
Yeah.
Real busy. And they just keep, they keep adding to this defense as if they needed anybody else. He re-signed Danielle Hunter. He brought back Sheldon Rankins. He brought back Naquan Jones. He re-signed MJ Stewart. And I think they just got another, while we were on the air, they got another defensive tackle in free agency. I want to say was pretty decent. I'll find a name here, but keep loading up on that defensive side of the ball. Reed Blankenship was a signing. They added Braden Smith. It was a really good signing for them. They need O-line for sure. Yeah. Got another edge in Dominique Robinson, who was a rotational guy. So, yeah, so how y'all feel about the Texans today? It's Logan Hall from the Bucks they got on a 2-year deal. So they got Logan Hall. So they got nothing but depth on the interior on top of having those 2 dominant edge rushers. So what do y'all feel about the Texans today in regards to the AFC South competition?
Similar to the Steelers, the Texans are on that same track, but they are obviously in a much better position than the Steelers were last year. This defense is yet again going to be top 3 in the league, top 2 in the league. Wouldn't be shocked if it was the best defense in the league by far. That's just what D'Amico Ryans puts out on tape. It's been the classic same thing with their D tackles. Rotate them in and out, let those edge rushers tee off whenever you get a little bit of a lead, and just keep that interior fresh to keep those edge rushers having success on the outside. So, I mean, this is literally only going to come down to C.J. Stroud.
Yep.
And what he's able to do with this offense. Sorry, Alex, I needed to take one from you because you took one from me earlier.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, this entire season for the Texans, they could easily be Super Bowl contenders if Stroud shows us anything from his rookie year. If not, they might be it might be another divisional round ceiling, just because the defense is good enough to get you there on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, with drafting Ersery last year as their left tackle, and they retooled 3 linemen in this one. If they get one in the draft, they're going to have a whole brand new, fresh O-line to put behind C.J. Stroud, and maybe he can get his confidence back. Because I think that was a problem. His biggest problem was he just didn't trust his O-line, so that hurt his confidence in his ability to deliver the ball. Because again, he might be have the ability to run as well, but he wants to work from the pocket. Him and Bryce Young, they both are very athletic and really can be a dual threat type of quarterback, but they really want to deliver from the pocket. So having that confidence to be able to stand back there and, hit that back foot and make those throws is the thing. So I think that if he can get back to that, then he'll get back to his rookie year type of vibe. And yeah, I think they're going to be off and running. Again, the defense is going to keep you in ball games every single week. That is not, there's no question about that. So yeah, we just have to see. And they got Dave Montgomery as their, as a clear number 1 back with him and Woody Marks. I like that combo. So yeah, and clearly those receivers are, top notch. Those Iowa State guys on top of having Nico Collins as your number 1, Dalton Schultz they brought back as their tight end. So they got all the pieces, man.
No excuses now.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about Lamar having no excuses. CJ really don't, because he's on the last year of his rookie deal too. Yeah, it's time to deliver, sir.
And you can tell, like, I think the money they're investing elsewhere tells you this is a make it or break it year for Stroud. Like they're gonna cut ties if it's the same song and dance.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I mean, I think that Braden Smith, very impactful signing for them, and Reed Blankenship only makes their secondary even more unfair than it already was.
It really does. You want to line them up with Budlock, Petrie, and Blankenship as your 3 safeties? Oh God.
Yeah, with the corners they have. With Lastly, it's like
Yeah, I don't want to see it. Yeah, rough for anybody got to face the team. Is all I can really say. Yeah, but good luck though. Good luck for the Texans. All right, so let's talk about the Colts. A lot of this going on over here too. What else is new? Again, another wholly overpaid Batman for me, and silent Alec Pierce to 4 years, $116 million price tag is their number 1. Who was their number 2 for the last 4 years, which I don't get. Transition tag on Daniel Jones at $37 million, trying to work out a long-term deal, and apparently he wants way more money than they're willing to give him, so that's a problem. I will give him credit for signing Arden Key to replace Kwity Paye, because Arden Key he can play.
Yeah,
Arden Key is a low key, he's a baller on the D line. But yeah, outside of that, I don't know what's going on in Indy, man. I really don't.
They don't like it, and they don't have a first-round pick either. So.
No, they don't. You're right, because they traded for Sauce.
Yep. They don't have a first-round pick this year or next year.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So it's scary hours in Indy right now.
So they got to work something out with Daniel Jones, unfortunately.
They got to. Yeah.
Unless they pivot to someone else. But, I mean, there's not much. I mean,
I guess the money you're going to pay Daniel will be the money you would give to somebody else. But what is that number and who the quarterback is? I mean, because the only person that could probably give you any more juice than Daniel will give you is like a guy like a Kyler Murray, because he's a mobile guy. But,
that's all. I mean, but if you're going to go with Kyler Murray, why wouldn't you just give Anthony Richardson a shot? It's the same.
Great point.
Same thing, except he's tall. Could actually see over his line. Yeah. And younger.
You got a point.
The Alec Pierce, I get it that they had to pay, and apparently he took less money to stay in Indy.
He did?
What
I've seen. Yeah, I
blew my mind when I saw that tweet.
I saw reports that I think New England and maybe another team had offered him more.
Okay,
but
New England makes sense.
Yeah. It does.
That's the only one I would have agreed with. That, like, okay, you overpaid for him, but with that offense with Drake May, understandable. Who was the other team?
I think maybe Tennessee, but I might be wrong. I don't know.
I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know, but obviously it's a lot of money for a guy who has not been a number one. But I get that you spent a second round pick on him. You developed him into someone that the league viewed as having the potential to earn that money. So you have to, you got to make the tough choice to either pay him or move on. So I get why they did it, but it's just like
$29 million a year, though.
And it's also crazy that you pay him and then immediately move off of Pittman. So it's
Right.
what exactly are you doing there then? You're hampering the offense further without even knowing who the quarterback is. So
great point. I would let him walk and kept Pittman and got me another number 2 receiver, in my opinion.
Yep.
That's just me.
And gotten a compensation pick.
And there you have it. Right.
I was gonna say we just talked about how this draft is not that they have a first round pick, but they could have gotten a pretty solid slot receiver with the second round pick. I feel like so.
100%.
So I mean that.
Well, they got Downs.
Yeah.
They have Tyler Warren. They have Jonathan Taylor, of course. I mean, they have weapons on the offense. I mean, I think they're banking on Alec Pierce taking a much bigger step forward this year than he has in any of the past 4 years, but. To your point, I just think Pittman's a more reliable guy.
I mean, he barely cracked 1,000 yards in his 4th year.
Yeah. But I will say, I mean, he hasn't gotten Pittman ate up a lot of targets. So
and Warren.
They did have a quarterback conundrum, too, for a while. So I guess that's a determining factor.
They also run the ball a hell of a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because, Pierce showed pretty quickly with Anthony Richardson that he is a home run threat. I mean, that was the only thing Anthony Richardson ever seemed to do was flick the ball 80 yards to Alec Pierce once every 4 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
on a rope. He can't throw a 5-yard out, but he can throw a 70-yard laser
with a guy in his face off his back foot, and then he runs for 20 yards and he's tired.
You're gonna never let him live that down, by the way.
I'm not, dude. I'm sorry. I mean, if somebody told me that in a game I was in, I'd be like, what? Let alone in the game when millions of dollars are being earned.
Right. Yeah.
You're tired. You want some orange slices after the game, Anthony?
And orange slices.
Son? Damn. What are we talking about?
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about the Titans here in a minute, but before I'm gonna ask this question now, before we talk about the Jaguars. So are we looking at the Colts looking up at everybody already based upon what they got going on, shifting around in the O-line and no quarterback as of yet? I think that with the Titans amount of money they spent, it could be a conversation where the Colts might finish 4th, in my opinion.
I think it's between them and the Jags.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was going to say them and the Titans, but
yeah, I know that's everybody's thoughts, but hey, man, 4th place schedule, new head coach with Saleh, revamped. I mean, as you can see, a revamped defense,
revamped team.
Revamped team for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, you can definitely see the Saleh effect with these signings that they had over here on the right.
And the Dayball effect.
And the Dayball effect. Yes, that is a great point. So maybe a hot take, but I would not be. I'll say this:
they're going to get an edge in the draft. I'm seeing it. They got Franklin Myers and the middle. Yeah,
to pair with I almost said fucking Jerry Tillery. Jesus Christ! Why was that Jeffrey Simmons? Why? Yeah,
right. Yeah,
Jerry Tillery. That's it. Yeah, Jerry Tillery wishes he was Jeffrey Simmons.
And
people thought he was gonna be
on his best day. He's not a quarter of what Jeffrey Simmons is.
Exactly. Yeah, so
I think you put the Colts down at the bottom just with the situation they're in right now. I mean, they have a talented roster, but it's kind of the same thing as this. Who's the quarterback going to be?
Yep.
I mean, it's obviously got to be Daniel Jones. They have no other choice at this point.
Yep.
They've burned any goodwill with Anthony Richardson. He's already. I mean, they're looking at moving him.
Right.
So you got to figure out what you're paying Daniel Jones, and you got to hope that he comes back remotely close, if not the same that he was pre-injury, but all at the same time hope that he doesn't get hurt again. And so the cards are not in their favor. But the one thing I will say with the Titans is, I think people are seeing at what they're spending and the coaching changes and thinking they're going to be this year's Patriots. I would pump the brakes on that.
Yeah, I'm not going that far.
Well, if we're saying Super Bowl appearance, it's definitely a touch too far.
No,
hey, I would not be shocked if they went worst to first.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how Cam Ward looks, but they're obviously understanding, and I appreciate that they're wanting to build around him, not just kind of right. Because I mean, it's not like he had a very
Promising.
promising rookie year.
Right.
But I think Titans teams in the past would see a quarterback with that type of rookie year, a la Malik Willis, and immediately start finding a new option. So I appreciate that they are doubling down to some degree and getting Saleh in, who can coach. I mean, can obviously coach a good team and build a culture. Unfortunately, that he just tried to do that in New York with the Jets the first time. Nobody can be
But that
successful
was mistake
there.
number one, right? Thinking he could revamp the Jets.
And then on top of that, him getting Brian Daboll, who we know can develop quarterbacks and have a potent offense. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what the Titans do. And I think the biggest signing's got to be Wan'Dale Robinson.
Oh, absolutely.
In my opinion.
Yeah, because if you look at it, the kid Ayomanor they had last year, he balled out. Chimere DK, they're sliding their kick returner, he balled out. So you're going to add a number one with Wan'Dale and those two. And they got Daniel Bellinger from the Green Bay, but the Giants, their tight end.
Yeah.
They got some solid pieces. I mean, they might not be household names, but
they took the other Chiefs corner too.
Right. They got Alontae Taylor, Cordell Flott, and they got Josh Williams. So they got their secondary revamped as well. So
I would say though, I think Tennessee takes Jeremiah Love.
Think they do it? I think they go edge, but they could. I mean, because you got Tony Pollard and what was the other guy?
Actually, Tony Pollard wasn't actually half bad last year for as bad as the Titans were. Pollard actually had a pretty decent year. Now, I'm obviously not going to say he's Jeremiah Love, but to your point, Coach, I think they're better suited. And of course, with the addition of Robert Saleh, that they're probably going to go defense and probably edge rusher with their first overall.
But they did trade for Jermaine Johnson too, so they do have that aspect of it. But I mean, if I'm doubling down on it, I'm getting two good edge rushers to go along with the two behemoths in the middle and just get after everybody. Make it easy, easy pickings for Cam to flourish in his offense, because if the defense is shutting you down, he gonna have more bites of the apple as far as getting the offensive going. And with Daboll calling plays, I think they're in their prime position to shock a lot of people this year and turn things around. I mean, I would argue that they could be at least above 500, maybe better if things go right.
For sure.
I'll say this too for the Titans and for Robert Saleh. You're talking about putting faith in Cam Ward. I think Saleh's just happy to not have what he had in New York.
Absolutely.
Not have Zach Wilson.
I think both of them are happy to be out of New York. I mean, the little bit of hair follicles they had, they lost them all because they completely.
And all the stuff.
Whole Cody staff is bald, as a matter of fact. So yeah.
Well, and all the stuff that came out too, like Daboll wanted Cam Ward. He wanted them to trade up for Cam Ward. They tried to do it.
Yeah.
So for him to finally get to work with the guy he wants, I'm excited to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, I mean, at Tennessee at 4, I think it's edge rusher or Jeremiah Love. Like they're not going offensive tackle.
Oh, no.
They're not doing it. I mean, they've already invested in that. They signed that guy from Pittsburgh and took J.C. Latham. So it's one of those two.
Yeah, they got Skoronsky in the middle. So yeah, they're set on the O-line. I think they're going to do edge or running back for sure. For sure. And adding Jeremiah Love to that offense is going to make it just that much better too. So you can't go wrong.
We're going to see who's got most influence in this first year. Is it Saleh or is it Daboll based on this first pick? I think it's going to be Saleh too, but we'll see. Daboll, he might be in his ear.
I don't know, man. I mean,
more running of the
running backs though. They do love running backs. So
more running of the ball, more time for defenses off the field.
Yep.
And just looking at their signings, I mean, it's 80% defense. So. I mean, that kind of tells you too, like what they're planning to go early, or at least that's what I would think.
That side of the ball needed a lot of tender love and carry too, so that's another conversation.
Well, I'm not going to say the offense doesn't either, though.
Sure, yeah, you had a good old line, but that was about it. That was about it. Okay, so how do we feel about the Jaguars to wrap this division up?
Well, you already heard it from me. I think they're going to be in contention for bottom of the division.
Ooh. Yeah, what's that? Worst to first?
That would be first to worst.
Yeah. Sorry, first to worst. Okay.
Yeah, we could see a total.
And they don't have a first round pick, right?
Nope. They traded that away for Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Who now
he will be coming back. So that is
as a corner.
As a corner, though. Yeah, but I mean, with the Jacoby Myers, they didn't trade Brian Thomas, so the offense should still. It's the biggest question is going to be, can Tootin take that next step as the guy? Now that ETN's out of the building.
Yeah, indeed.
I just look at this guy.
I was looking at the picture too.
You know what I think it is?
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh wow! Yeah, get it.
I don't know. I don't know if it's made of what I think it is, but
yeah, didn't look right. Definitely didn't look right. All right, so let's forward over to as we wrap this up. Let's forward over to our favorite division, the AFC West. As we talked about at the top of the show, the Raiders are now back in the Maxx Crosby business after making all these moves. So they got $30 million on top of their cap that's being spent outside of the money they already spent with Linderbaum and others. But with the Maxx Crosby debacle aside, man, I got to give the Raiders a lot of credit. They did all the right things there for agency. That's for sure. Bringing back the guys they were supposed to bring back and signing the guys they needed to sign. They got two good linebackers, two young beastly linebackers in Quay Walker. Even they're going to be named, my God. Kwity Paye, edge rusher, to kind of air quote replace Maxx. Linderbaum from the center. Obviously, they needed that, which I still don't understand why they're not playing Jackson Powers Johnson at center, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I mean, paying $81 million for Linderbaum, and you got to play him at center. That's not a question at all. Re-signed Eric Stokes, cornerback. He was really good for them last year. I don't see why he left the Packers. Get that off the screen, please.
Is that true? I need to look.
No shot they're giving up. There's no way Maxx is getting traded for multiple picks after he just failed his physical and the Ravens got cold feet. Ain't no shot. Also, it would be the 32nd pick in the draft. I don't think the Raiders are in much, you go from the 14th pick to the 32nd. That's but a massive drop off.
First round pick.
Is it really though? It's basically a bona fide second round pick.
I know, but that's probably the best thing they could get given the circumstances. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
And totally unrelated Raiders news, but AFC West news. The Chargers just re-signed Trey Pipkins to
shut the
2-year deal, $10 million.
Shut the hell up, Coach. You're lying to me right now.
I'm not. I'm Pelisaro just reported it. 9 minutes ago.
I wish it was.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I mean,
again, Raiders though, got to give them credit.
Yeah, got to give them credit for doing all the right things in regards to the roster. Now, what they would do with that roster, and from a coaching perspective, who knows? But they got all the right pieces to rebuild this thing from the ground up, and likely getting Fernando Mendoza as their starting quarterback for the next 4 years on the cheap as a franchise guy. They're doing all the right things. They're checking all the right boxes again, but it is the Raiders, so hold your breath in regards to what they're going to do come this season. But yeah, they're doing pretty good. Any other thoughts on them before we talk about this Chargers nonsense?
Yeah, Raiders are the clear winners in free agency right now. As much as I hate to admit it, they are doing everything right, signing big names to some big money and worthy money. I really think the Jalen Naylor signing is a super underrated move. I think he was just held. I don't say held back, but was blocked from real targets with Jefferson and Jordan Addison there. So I think with the Raiders, I think with Mendoza, presumably, I think he will really shine. And I think that 3 years, $35 million is going to be a very team-friendly deal for how much production I think he will provide.
Right. Curtis, you're not wrong. The Rams are definitely favored to go back to the Super Bowl this next coming season. They're the betting favorite, but we'll see. Y'all got a lot of pieces over there. We covered them a little earlier in the pod, man.
My boy
hit
Trent.
the button on if you want to catch our recap on it. But yeah, y'all definitely doing the right things for sure in the LA. These one LA teams getting things right. All we can really say. That's for sure. But yeah, so getting to the
Speaking
Chargers.
of LA.
Yeah, speaking of LA. Yeah. Bolts might get back with the Bolts. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Yeah, that'll really make my day.
Coach, you want to go first on this one?
Bring him home.
You know what? No, I'm going to save my rant for the Electric Shock podcast. So I'm going to save my energy for that. I'll let you take the floor here. As our Chargers inside on this network, I'll let you have it. Yeah, I have a lot to say, but I'm not going to waste it here.
Festivus, RG.
We're 2 hours. We're 2 hours into the show now. What the fuck is Joe Ortiz doing?
We don't know.
I'm truly dumbfounded at what I'm seeing at the ineptitude of this front office. Clearly, they do not give a shit about Justin Herbert, and I apologize for the curses, but this is bullshit. Just under $100 million in cap space, and you did nothing with it. Absolutely nothing. You brought in Tyler Biotish. Cool. Yeah. Literally any center you would have brought in would have been an upgrade over Bradley Bozeman last year because he was the worst ranked center in the league. Cool. You get a replacement on him. Fine. You bring in a backup tight end to a 3-year, $24 million with $24 million deal with 17 guaranteed. Basically a bona fide blocker, which is what he is. He's the best blocking tight end, quote unquote, in the league. Yeah. Shocker, another guy from Baltimore, who that seems to be the only team you care to acquire from or trade with, Ortiz.
Yeah.
And a fullback, cool. That doesn't do anything for me. But he was with McDaniels in Miami, so whatever. We'll accept that.
Well, I mean, I like that move because it was way better than having Tucker Fisk or Scott Matlock block.
Fair.
Yeah.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
At a position of importance that's probably last, and it's probably behind kicker if we're being honest.
Yeah.
But whatever. Cool. You shored that up. Your only other move to fix the interior line was to sign a full practice squad turned starter in Cole Strange, giving him $9 million guaranteed. This dude was on a practice squad a couple years ago.
Last year. Last year.
Excuse me, last year.
Last year, yeah.
And you let Owe walk, and granted, for that money, I would have let him walk as well.
Yeah.
You let Zion walk, which again, for that money, I would have let him walk as well. And you did what? You brought back Tier Tart. Cool. That was way before this offseason even started. So fine. You brought back Khalil Mack. That was pretty much expected. It was either he was going to retire or we're going to bring him back. And then you re-signed Trevor Penning and now Trey Pipkins. Like, we saw how awful that interior O-line was last year. Why on God's green earth, with all that money, did you do absolutely nothing? You didn't get one of the top 2 guys at any of those positions. And you easily, the one that blew my mind the most was Elton Jenkins from the Packers.
$12 million a year, I would have done that in a heartbeat.
The minute he got released, I would have been on the phone with his agent flying him out there.
Yeah.
Because, fine, you overpay him a little bit because of California taxes. Big whoop. I'm A-okay with that. I would have been A-okay giving him $15 million a year.
Easy. He's a center and a guard. Well, you can't beat that.
Center and a guard. The 2 big positions you needed to fill. He's Pro Bowl center. Put him at guard either way. If Tyler Biotish goes down with an injury, because he did get hurt last year, you can throw Jenkins right in there to replace him. And he doesn't count against your comp pick formula that Ortiz loves so much because he got straight up released. So it really, I'm honestly, I'm so pissed off right now at the ineptitude we're seeing. And there's still some guys out there that we can sign that I would be okay with. But the damage has been done. No big moves made in the first 2 days of free agency. And for a team that needed to make moves and for a team that has failed its star quarterback at every turn so far, minus the hiring of Jim Harbaugh, I'm truly at a loss. And it's moments like these where I really think, like, damn, man, we are a fucking dysfunctional franchise because we just can't we just can't get it right when it's right there in front of us. It's there to be had, and we just sit on our hands and go bargain basement hunting again. Yeah,
because even if Pennings and Strange and Pipkin are backups or rotational guys, they're not great rotational guys.
No.
I mean, you know, you put them in the same vein, same conversation as your Bobby Hart, your Austin Deckles, who were all horrible last year. I just don't understand the idea or the ideology behind it. And this is, and I'll say this here now, and I'll say it here, and I'll probably repeat it again on the next shot. You know, I really believe that the ownership is the issue here. Like, I really believe that it's a money thing, Because if you dig deep into the weeds of contracts, like, as me, the prototypical nerd does, I really, get deep into why things happen. You have to have cash on hand to pay people. And on top of the fact that you're in California. So you're going to overpay more so in California than you're going to do in Miami. Prime example, because there's no state tax in Miami versus the taxes being ridiculously high in California. So you're going to overpay a little bit. And you have to have cash on hand to pay guarantees. And most people, including Tony Jefferson, who said on Twitter today, go check it out, that they offered him a contract, but there was no guarantees in it. And he was not signing that. It's his own words, not mine. And that's anybody, and that's any player in this society's NFL is not going to play on a contract with no guarantees. Because you can be cut at the drop of a hat and you have no money to steal for it. So, and if the Spanos family wants to pay people on contracts and not giving the guarantee money for real, then you're not serious about winning. You're just not. And we've seen it happen over the course of my fandom. I see them squander Drew Brees' early stardom and let him walk in free agency and go win the Super Bowl. You see him squander Phillip Rivers' whole career, not supporting him properly. The moment you get to the cusp of getting to the point where you could compete for a Super Bowl, you fire the coach that got you there. And then you really bumbled and stumbled for the entirety of his career after that and hiring inept coaches. So I really think that despite who the coach is, despite who the players are, despite who the quarterback is, if the ownership at the top of all of this is always and completely, utterly going to be cheap, this franchise is never going to succeed. Because you can't go bargain basement hunting expect to win a Super Bowl. Nobody's ever done it in the history of the NFL, especially in this day and age. In the 2000s, in this century, you got to pay to play. Any team that's paid the money, they made it. I mean, hell, look at the Patriots. They turned it around in 1 year, spent all that money in free agency, and made it a Super Bowl. They might not have won it, but damn it, they were in a conversation because they paid the money to play. Anybody that's won a Super Bowl has paid the money. Ask the Rams. The Rams in the conversation every year. You know why? Because they pay. Stan Kroenke, yes, he's one of the richest people in the NFL, period. But again, if you want to pay, if you want to play, you got to pay. And if you're not willing to do that, just tell us as fans that you're not serious about paying people guaranteed money, and we'll just accept it and realize that we're never going to be a contending team, because that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, pull in Art Moreno from the Angels, who just blatantly came out and said that winning is not a top 5 experience he wants to, or that he believes fans can experience. Because that's basically what you're telling us at this point. Right. You were gifted, Herbert, with the fact that the Dolphins were so inept and the ownership was so stupid at thinking that Tua was a better quarterback than him.
Yep.
So you were gifted your franchise player at the moment, and you have done quite literally nothing to help him out.
Well, I wouldn't say nothing. They get 2 tackles, the 2 Pro Bowl tackles, but outside of that.
But in free agency, I mean, draft, yeah. And I got no problem with Ortiz in the draft. He has some amazing draft classes. No problems there. In that regard to what Tom Telesco was, massive upgrade. We would never expect a hit in a round past 1 with Tom Telesco as the GM. So the fact that you're getting guys in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round that are starting and great players, all the love for Ortiz on that regard. But as far as spending money, I hate to bring them up, but at least Telesco spent the damn money. Might not have been for great players. Might have fucked us royally with some of those players, a la J.C. Jackson.
Yeah.
But he wanted to make big splashes, and I have yet to see that from Ortiz and Harbaugh, and truly disappointing. I think that's at the crux of the problem, because they got so scared off by trying to spend the money one time when they didn't really want to do it in the first place. So they probably mandated Ortiz to, because again, this is about money. Like this is just spending for free agency. That has nothing to do with the rookie contracts are set. They're guaranteed. They're set in stone. There's no wiggle room there. You don't have to negotiate shit. Your rookie contract is your rookie contract. So that's one thing. But when it comes to spending power and spending money, despite the fact that you have it in a cap space environment, they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. Every time every time they feel like they've done it, they've gotten burned, and they don't want to spend it because they're cheap in their own right. So if you're a cheap person, and the one time you go outside yourself and say I want to spend the money, and you get burned, you're likely going to be gun shy. And I think that's what the problem is. I think that's what the problem is when it comes to free agency, because we get disappointed in free agency every year.
Like literally, we have this conversation, this argument every offseason. The free agency period sucks for the Chargers. It's good in the draft for the last 2 years, but the freaking free agency period sucks complete donkey ass.
Well, they're gonna need to absolutely hit it out of the park with the draft this year.
But you only got 5 picks too, so that's another.
Yeah, and you better get 5 starters. That's all I'm saying.
Better, yeah. We'll see. But that's enough of our soapbox rant on the Chargers. We've been doing this all day, so we had to get our energy off in some manner. But
get them the hell off my screen.
I'm sorry. We're talking about teams that actually win and compete. The Broncos and the Chiefs, right? So Alex, please take it away in regards to what y'all did. Of course, your big signing was Kenneth Walker and getting that run game back on track. So tell us how you feel about your moves on that side of the ball.
Yeah, man. Honestly, like I said, polar opposite sentiments on my team with how you guys feel. The Chiefs have obviously lately been more susceptible to moving on from players and retooling in the draft and, signing little role playing type guys here and there, but not really making big splashes in free agency. So it was cool to see them, free up the cap space and cut ties with some guys that were kind of becoming liabilities, understand that they needed to buff up the running game, beef up the running back room, and make that a priority. And I truly do think that their initial plan was to take Jeremiah Love, and then he went and balled out in the combine and made it pretty obvious that he wasn't going to be there at 9. Honestly, pretty shocked that they were able to get Kenneth Walker just with the hype that was coming into this free agency period. I thought for sure he would get a little more lucrative contract elsewhere. But I love that signing. I think that he is the exact type of back that fits what Andy Reid likes to do with running backs. I mean, he is also very effective in the pass catching game. Andy Reid, as everyone knows, loves to do the screen game with running backs. Fun little stat about Kenneth Walker that I thought was it really hammered home the importance of the signing. He had more 25-yard runs in one drive of the Super Bowl than the Chiefs had all last season. All of their running backs had all last season combined. So that's not saying much because he had 2 and they've only had 1. And, it's actually saying a lot, but it's just good to see them, understand that problem and build up that running back room with Kenneth Walker. I do think they probably still, I don't think they're done. Whether that's signing someone else in free agency or taking a guy in day 2 of the draft. I like the Gillum signing, honestly, too, from losing Brian Cook. He's a very effective, at least grades well by PFF metrics, whatever you weigh that as, but be very effective pass coverage guy in the secondary. Tunga is a huge force in the run game, so I love that addition as well. On top of, bringing Travis Kelce back, did not retire, made sure, not that he was going to go anywhere, but good to work that out. I like bringing Taquan Thornton back into the mix. But the other areas of need that the Chiefs didn't really or haven't addressed yet are also, more of the plentiful ones in the draft. So I think, from a free agency standpoint, they're probably pretty much done. Maybe outside of a couple like 1-year bargain bin type guys here and there, but
pieces.
But I think, I think the rest of it's going to be implemented in the draft, but really hard to have issues with any of the signings that they've done or the money they gave out, honestly. So I feel good about that. As well as the fact that, Kenneth Walker's only 25. So comparing to the 2 that were available, Kenneth Walker and ETN, who's, going to be 28, I like the Kenneth Walker signing more. And it was one that, I tried to manifest and it worked, but I truly didn't. I thought he would go somewhere else and get a lot more money. So I'm glad that worked out for the Chiefs.
I guess he wants to keep winning, going to a contending team versus going to somebody else that's going to run him into the ground, but he won't ever sniff the playoffs. That's a factor too. Yeah,
they might run him into the ground, but for good reason.
Right, exactly. And the fact that they brought back Eric Bieniemy to work with him on top of everything else, that's going to benefit him greatly, in my opinion. So I think there is a bang up signing for the Chiefs. I got to give him credit for that as well. I might be slightly overpaid for Loie Gilman in that space because we've got pretty good bird's eye view of him for the last 4 to 5 years, and I don't know if the $8 million tag with 15 guarantee was
he played pretty well in Baltimore though.
He did
for half a season, but he didn't play that well. Period for us. But we'll see. I mean, but again, this also is Spagnuolo's system. He makes guys that don't have a whole lot of cachet look like Pro Bowlers. So I mean, it might just work out for him in that space. So it might pay for itself in short order. We'll see. But I like the Tonga signing, lining him up with him and Chris Jones in the middle. So just make that run defense even harder to run against. Just why don't you? Just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do it.
And like I said, I mean, I think these signings kind of position the Chiefs to where they're not really hamstrung to one area of need in the draft. And they can kind of just see how the board falls.
I like that.
At least early. With that 9 pick. And I think, like I said, if they were really trying to get Jeremiah Love with how it went, they were going to have to trade up. And I think they didn't want to have to do that.
Yeah. Brandon, I'm going to throw up my mouth if Cole Strange starts for us in picks. I really am. I might throw up for real. I'm not sure how it won't stay inside. I might just.
Yeah. I'm going to have a strange feeling in my stomach if he's starting on this.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I would say as an outsider looking in at the Chargers, since they have had Harbaugh, they have always had good drafts. He prioritizes the trenches early in the draft. So I think they have a plan.
I sure hope so.
At this point, they have to. I was dreaming of an edge rusher in the first round and a guard in the second. But now you got to go guard in the first 2 rounds. You have to.
Yep.
I bet they're going to start. I think Strange is probably starting. But you're going to get that guy from Penn State. That'd be pretty sick.
If the Ravens don't take him, because they talking about they marking him going to the Ravens since they got their first.
Either him or Pregnon from Oregon.
I would love Pregnon because I think Pregnon is a slam dunk.
Give me a goddamn guard, man. That's the only way I'm going to actually look at next season with any kind of optimism.
I agree.
If this O-line, if we don't take double guard or double O-line in this draft, Marty might be looking ahead for 27.
A tackle that's like dunker that's going to likely play inside. That's really good. I would even take that. But outside of that, there's a non-starter for me if we don't go O-line early in the draft. It's a non-starter. Yeah.
You're not wrong, Brandon. You're not wrong.
Yeah, he definitely is not. I like Brad. He's very spot on with he feels our pain, as fans. That's for sure. But to wrap it up, man, so we can get up out of here. So let's talk about the Broncos real quick. They only just retained guys. They really didn't resign anybody. They didn't sign anybody for agency. So, what do you think their ceiling is? Looking at their free agency moves.
I'll say wild card.
Yeah.
The defense is going to take a massive step back with Franklin Myers leaving. Also, oh my God, what's his name? I'm sorry?
Benito?
Yes, Nick Benito. Excuse me. Didn't really address the running back position. J.K. Dobbins can be good, barring him getting injured again, and I knock on wood for him. So right. I say that very lightly, but I just don't know. Yeah, you could look at it as we were a field goal away from the Super Bowl. You could also look at it as we did absolutely nothing to get better, and everybody besides the Chargers in our division got better. So right. I think it's going to be a bit of a rude awakening, but I think that defense is still solid. They'll still be competitive. I think their ceiling is wild card game for sure.
Okay, I like it.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I would say
it's great. I'm here for a regression for Broncos.
Got it. Okay.
But, it's crazy that they were so aggressive last year, and then got to the AFC Championship game, and then we're just not. And obviously it's early, so anything could still happen. But it's just wild that a lot of reports that they were in on people and then lost out and just haven't done much at all. So
okay, all right, good stuff, guys. All right, so real quick, I'm going to do a quick little rapid fire segment here. We're going to talk about guys that are still on the block and free agency. I'm going to give you one name per person per position. You tell me what your most likely destination is for them. All right, we're going to start with the quarterback position. So, AG, what do you think most likely destination is for Kyler Murray?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay. All
100%.
right. Okay. All right. So, RG, we got Aaron Rodgers. If he comes back, what is the most likely destination for him?
Ayahuasca. My bad. You meant team?
I did.
The XFL.
Yeah. A coaching opportunity somewhere.
Oh,
man, honestly, for Rodgers, Indy.
In Indy?
Why not? You got a great O-line, great running back, great tight end.
Well, great play caller.
Great play caller, newfound wide receiver one for whatever you think that's worth.
That's a hot take right there.
Why the hell not?
To say hell with Daniel Jones is running with Aaron Rodgers for a year?
Why not? Why is this a year?
He'd be
way
cheaper.
cheaper.
$10 million practically. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's talk about running backs then. So we got quite a few guys that's still out here. Veterans in their own right. One name that kind of intrigues me that he's out here. That hadn't gotten. I think he got a bad rap in a sense. Brian Robinson. Where do you think Brian Robinson lands? AG, where do you think he goes? What do you think most likely destination is for him? Somebody needs a running back.
Man, I don't know. I could see. I could see a place like Denver, or someone that has a kind of a questionable. Because he is serviceable. Like I didn't understand why San Fran traded for him and then didn't use him just to let him walk.
Right.
But yeah, I think a place like that, or maybe like a Jacksonville, to be that secondary punch.
Not bad.
Obviously they're going to go with Tootin.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I said a good one too.
Yeah, I like Jacksonville for him. I mean,
no one's going to, obviously at this point, like no one's going to give him a chance to be the guy, but I think he's going to end up on that, get like a Ken Gainwell, Rico Dowdle type deal and just go be the 1B option in a place like that. I think those are all pretty good spots for him.
I like it. Okay. So we got former Buccaneer Rachaad White, RG. Where do you think he goes?
Shit, I would love for him to come to the Chargers, honestly.
I agree. As a third
I think that would be a perfect running back trio there.
Well, I would say I prefer Sean Tucker over him, but if I can't get Sean Tucker, I'll take White.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think Rachaad White with he's more of like a goal line guy. He can get you some big yards, and he's had some pretty big games in his career, but I think you like him a lot more in those short yardage situations, goal line situations.
Yeah.
Hampton is definitely that guy as well, but third down back. And I think Kamani can provide you with a little bit more of that pass catching option. But yeah, I would not be upset one bit if we got him.
Okay. All right, good stuff. All right, so let's talk wide receivers real quick. Tyreek Hill. Where does he go, AG?
He's coming home.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Oh, that's why I asked him. I knew he was going to say that.
He's coming home. It's done.
Honestly, makes sense too.
It really does make sense.
I don't know who else is going to give him a chance, though. I mean, like he's still hurt. Like, I don't know where else he would go or who else would take a flyer on him. So that's what I'm gonna guess. They bring that little band back together to let Hill and Kelsey ride out into the sunset where it started.
Okay, I like it. All right, so talking about, I'm gonna give you two RG actually because they're in the same vein. Two former 49er wide receivers. Brandon Ayuk was clearly done in San Fran.
Yep.
We just don't know where is he traded to, and where does Juwan Jennings land?
Juwan Jennings, I'm going to say, goes to Denver. I think they finally open up the checkbook a little bit, and I think he would be a pretty solid piece over there in Denver.
Definitely another good outside receiver to go along with Courtland Sutton. I like it.
Yep, great after the catch, something that Sean Payton loves in his wide receivers. So, I think Denver would be a great place for him. To my demise, I would not want to see him in Denver, but I think it makes the most sense in my opinion.
All right.
And for Ricky Pearsall, I think he is good. I'm so sorry, Brandon Ayuk.
Hey,
I know I was going other Niners wide receiver, huh? No, Brandon Ayuk, his most ideal spot is anywhere not in the state of California.
Oh, okay.
I think he will be good anywhere besides obviously the Niners, besides the Chargers.
Debo's also out there too.
He
Another
is out
former.
there.
Yeah. But I would say I think Brandon Ayuk just needs to find a new place where he finds that motivation and love for the game again, because it's clearly not in San Fran.
True. He said Pistol. I was like,
damn, son, where'd you find this?
What? Huh?
right. That's funny. All right. So tight ends, David Njoku and Dallas Goedert. Those are the two I got for you guys. So start with Njoku, AG. Who do you think Njoku lands?
Man. I'm going to say the Jets.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't know why.
So
But
he's
it just
going to
seems like
die.
a Jets move. Yeah, it just seems like a Jets move.
Okay.
Yeah, throw another piece of the wall. See if
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, give David some money, you know?
Right.
Why not?
Okay. So how about Dallas Goedert, RG?
I think he goes back to Philly.
Really?
Yeah, I think they truly do re-sign him. I don't think it's going to be a massive deal, but I think he is one of Hurts's favorite targets, probably more so than AJ Brown.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to try to do everything in their power to keep him. But yeah, I want to say Philly.
I mean, it's not a bad take because I think that he probably got out there in the market and realized it wasn't sweet.
Yep.
So he was like,
Especially not for tight ends. This year
Yeah.
for tight ends, it's pretty rough. I'm not going to
Yeah,
lie.
it really is. Yeah, it's not bad. Not a bad take at all. I like it. Okay. All right, good stuff. So let's talk about edge rushers real quick. Because the O-linemen are pretty much depleted at this point.
Yeah.
Outside of Taylor Decker, he's the only person that's any notoriety that's out
Kevin
here.
Zeitler can provide a little bit of something too. But...
Yeah, we long in the tooth though. So you talking? It's always a 1 year rental with him.
Yep.
Batonio obviously is another one. He's long in the tooth as well, 34. Centers, nobody really. Yeah, but that's pretty much it in that space. But yeah, edge rushers. Trey Hendrickson is one. Hassan Reddick is a free agent. I did not know that. Oh, Hassan Reddick. He's a free agent. I didn't realize that. So let's talk about them two. Where did Trey Hendrick go, AG?
Oh man, I think your Baltimore take early is I think it's pretty obvious now, especially that Maxx Crosby news.
And it works out better for the Ravens. You get to keep 2 first rounders and still pay the same money. Why not?
Yep.
Get the same production. Hell, maybe even more because Henderson was putting up way more sacks, per season than Maxx was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. Okay. All right. What about Hassan Reddick, RG?
Man, for Hassan Reddick, I could see him going over to the Titans. I think if Robert Saleh wants to invest in that,
not bad. That's not bad.
I think that would be a great destination for him over there. Pair himself up with a really nice defensive coordinator turned head coach. We obviously know Saleh can install that culture. I think that'd be a great place for him to kind of revitalize what he was in Philly.
Yeah. And I don't know, was it Brandon or somebody else brought up the Bosa thing, but I feel like Bosa will go to 49ers. Timbo with his brother. Yeah.
He was actually pretty good this year for the Bills, all things considered.
Yeah.
But he wasn't terrible.
He was healthy for a change. That's for sure.
Yep.
Definitely healthy.
And you got Bradley Chubb out there too.
That's another big one too.
Yeah, I forgot they released them. Damn. Okay. Yeah, let's go.
I would
not mind that one bit.
Dude, look, I just said it. So I wouldn't mind Bradley Chubb going to the Chargers. That's a great run defender for sure. Add some depth to that room.
Yeah.
We lost out on Owe. I'm not mad at that.
Opposite of Mack, that'd be a great running game defensive line there with Jamari Caldwell.
Oh well, yes.
Cam Jordan's a free agent. He just didn't retire. Like they released him.
Wait, who?
Cameron Jordan.
Yeah, that's a shocker.
I thought for sure he was going to retire. So that's crazy.
I mean, I'm looking at Sport Track here. It says he's a 36-year-old free agent.
Wow.
All right, so I'm gonna skip over interior D linemen because they're complete ass right now, as far as talent wise. Linebacker, I'm gonna do Drake Greenlaw and Bobby Okereke. So where did Drake Greenlaw go, AG?
I'm gonna say Dallas.
That's not bad. They're going at 34 too. They're going to need good linebackers in that 34 system.
Gary don't care about injury history, so he's gonna. And they had Kenneth Murray as one of their backers, so they definitely need to upgrade. Who's also a free agent. I would be. I don't know what team will give him a contract, but
if any,
he's
a
I'm gonna go Dallas.
UFL.
Yeah,
I think Kenneth Murray might be in the UFL at this point.
Even the Arena League, one of the 15 that are out there. You know,
Right.
He's gonna put the pro and semi-pro.
Yeah, Bobby Wagner is a free agent too, so I don't think he's with the Commanders at all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he just needs to retire. And Levante David, huh? Okay.
Yeah, Monty David and Matt Milano, who's been injured a lot, but he was productive when he's on the field. Yeah. Okay. So where did Barrio Carrico go, in your opinion, RG?
I think he goes to the Eagles. I think with the losses of Nakobe Dean and oh my God, why am I blanking on the other one?
Quay Walker.
Quay Walker, thank you. I think that he will provide some much needed reinforcement there. He's a solid linebacker. He's obviously not at the talent level as those two guys, but I think he'd be a nice piece to slot in with the departures of those two guys.
Okay. I like it. Okay. All right, so let's forward over to corners real quick. I saw I think it was a meme that said that Marshawn Lattimore is going to go to any team in the NFC West now that Mike Evans is with
the Niners.
Yeah, it don't matter who he plays for, as long as he gets to play against Mike Evans twice a year. But where do you think he goes, AG? We think Marshawn Lattimore goes?
Man, I don't know. I do not know. He's a guy that I wouldn't mind the Chiefs signing, that's for sure. But it depends on the price point. I mean, he's almost 30, so I don't know what kind of contract he'd be getting. But I could see, maybe the Bears, who are spending money, just lost Nashawn Wright.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I like that. Okay. All right. What about Trayvon Diggs, RG?
Man, Trayvon Diggs. Honestly, real talk, I would not be, I don't want to say I'd be upset, but I wouldn't be shocked to see him go to Baltimore. I think with Jesse Minter there, you can really get the most out of him.
Yeah.
And put him in position to succeed. So yeah, I think if he wants to kind of same thing, revitalize his career, I think Baltimore would be a really good stop for him with Minter.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. All right, so wrap it up with the safeties. Let's talk Kevin Byard and another interesting one here. Jaquan Brisker. So where does Kevin Byard land, AG?
The 49ers. Why? Because he's old as hell.
That's funny. You're not wrong.
I could see him maybe going to like Buffalo,
that makes
somewhere cheap.
Yeah,
because he's going to be cheap.
Yeah.
At whatever, what is he, like 33?
32.
Almost 32 and a half. So,
yeah, 32 and a half, right.
Yeah, I could see Buffalo. I mean, they need some safety help.
That they do for sure. Okay. All right. So where did Jaquan Brisker go, RG?
Man, this is a tough one, but I'm going to say he hops over to a division rival from the Bears and goes to the Vikings.
Ooh. When Harrison Smith gone, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep, nice replacement there. He was a highly drafted player, 48th overall, so they got him in the second round. Yes, Brandon, please. Honestly, yes. I would take anything at this point. Anything.
Yes. Anything.
But,
you guys are going to get Taysom Hill, all right? It's going to be awesome.
Oh, I wish I could flip you off, Alex. I wish I could flip you off so bad right now. Have another fullback 2 on the roster.
A hot take for a tight end the Chargers will sign, Darren Waller.
Jesus.
Why? Because Mike McDaniels could be hey, I had him in Miami.
Yeah, not with Gadsden. I pray to God McDaniel's looking at Gadsden like, I can work wonders with you.
That's a younger, tall version of Darren Waller, and less injury prone.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Neither can we, Brandon.
Exactly. We feel your pain, sir. Trust us. Okay.
But yeah, I can definitely see Brisker going to the Vikings. Needed the safety position, and
Or Detroit.
That's another one of those. Yep. That's another Ditzwell. Yes, indeed. Okay.
He was one I wanted the Chiefs to sign, but since they took Gilman, that's off the table. But
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, bless you.
Thank you.
All right. So yeah, man. So that is our free agency wrap up. That is our Maxx Crosby news. That is our predictions for the free agency period going forward for the rest of the week. If you need to reach us at any pace and time, and we want to give a quick shout out to our Patreon page where we do exclusive NFL content over there. It is live, uncut, and unfiltered. So please sign up for the Patreon today if you can, if you're so inclined. You will get exclusive content over there that you don't see on YouTube. It is definitely heavy hitting. If you want to sign up for the 7-day free trial just to kind of get a feel of what's going on, get a lay of the land, please do so. But I promise you, once you get through the 7-day trial, you will want to stay for the whole gambit of everything that we do, everything we cover. You get all our YouTube content early. You get all our exclusive content, our Hit Squad Unfiltered shows, our ref analysis segments, and everything in between. So anything we do exclusive content for Patreon, you will get it first, and you get it exclusively over there and nowhere else. So please sign up for the Patreon today. And if you're looking for the Hit Squad at any space and time, our Commanders Insider, Coach Mike Dubb, Alex Gibbs, our Chiefs Insider, or Robert Garcia, our Chargers Insider, please hit them up on socials and then in their space and their time. If you have any questions regarding their teams, and if you have any general questions for the Lockdown Defense Sports Network, hit us up on our socials, Lockdown Defense Sports and most genres. Please hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. You let the algorithm know we're doing big things out here to help our podcast movement. And hit us up on socials if you have any questions for NFL, for any of our analysts, or just general questions that we can get answers for you. We'll be glad to assist you, man. But yeah, that's going to do it for us this week, man. In regards to our all-season blitz coverage, we'll be covering everything going forward, man. We're here to stay. The Chiefs video for the free agency is going to come out Thursday, and the Chargers will come out Friday. We'll break that down in depth, as we always do, and cover our teams, as well as getting to our new normal NFL content spaces. So please look out for that. Like I said, turn the notification bell on for every channel that we support, so not miss an upload that we do in our spaces for the Lockdown Defense Sports Network. And we appreciate everybody that's been holding us down. We've had 50 people holding us down for the entirety of this 2.5 hours. So we appreciate the love and the support, man. And we're going to be here. And let us know your feedback, man. Drop some comments on the YouTube channel on the video, and let us know what you want to see on the network as well, and we'll try to cover that as well for you in regards to NFL content, man. So we love the feedback, we love to get engaged with our fans, and we love to do things that people want to see. So that's what we're here for. So but any final thoughts, gentlemen, before we get up out of here?
Wake the fuck up, Ortiz. That's my final thought.
Really hammer it home.
Yeah, I'm pissed, man.
Put a cherry on top of that, a pissed off cake. I get it. I get it.
I'll just tell you, dude, the light is always darkest just before the dawn. All right.
Listen, I told him early, and I'll say it again over here. I said, as the Chargers have a really bad habit of feeding us hope to poison our souls. They really do. Shout out to the Bane from Batman. You just feed us hope to poison our souls. And we get disappointed every time, but that's where we're at. So, unfortunately. But, hopefully things get better, but I'm not optimistic, as Brandon talked about earlier. We'll see. We're very frustrated at this point.
Still some big names out there, though. Excited to see how the final dominoes fall.
Yeah, so we're in the second wave of free agency. We'll see how things go. But them signing Trey Pipkins doesn't give me pause. That gives me pause. It doesn't make me feel good at all.
Oh yeah,
doesn't make me feel good at all. But we'll see. But yes. But that's our time. We appreciate everybody rolling with us through the off-season blitz this episode, and we'll be back throughout the week covering the content in our spaces. So, like I said, be on the lookout for all our content dropping this week, and we'll be back as always with our live show coming up. Probably getting more towards draft time. We're probably getting into some mock drafts here shortly in the next week or so. So look out for that. But that's gonna do it for us, man. So for young RG Robert Garcia, the real HG Alex Gibbs, I'm Coach Defense, man. Until we see you next time, you got to do one thing and one thing well. You got to step up to lock it down.